The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, and I know I'm not Eli, but I'm your host today. My name's Logan Jones. I'm going to be your host. Yeah,
Man,
that Logan.
you know what?
Gun Bunny Logan is
I
the host
missed.
now.
I missed
What'd you miss?
Logan being the host.
I have mixed feelings about it.
You have mixed feelings?
Yes. Because it forces me to talk more,
Yeah,
and
which
then I reveal my stupidity.
I think
And,
you're
I'm
famous
opposed
for.
to that.
You're famous for being stoic during the show.
Yes, exactly.
Some people have called in on our voicemail asking, "Is Logan real?"
Is that so? Speaking of our voicemail, give us a call. Leave us a voicemail.
Yeah, we miss you.
That's just a little number.
Yeah.
208-918-1776. Like the most American number I've ever heard.
Yeah,
But
that was an accident.
that voice you're hearing
oh yeah.
is our lovely, beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
extremely talented, and a darn good singer.
Turns out a dang nice sunglass wearer too.
That's true. It's true. And his name is Trevor Smith.
Howdy, folks.
And also joining us today.
Yeah, who else is joining us
someone that
today?
hasn't been on the show before.
No.
And I'm honestly, I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. And that is the man that does all our shipping.
Oh, yeah.
And handles a lot of our online orders.
Uh-huh.
And that is
yeah.
Alan Snow.
Thanks, guys. I feel like I'm a show newbie.
Oh, yeah.
We've all been
get
there.
We'll
We've all
get you
been
grizzled before the end of the show. You're going to
Yeah.
be like a veteran.
Asking questions. taking
VFS.
answers, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you'll be famous. And people will see you on the street and be like, hey, is that
Yeah,
you?
you
You
won't-
Gun Shop Show?
You won't be able to get gas. People will be waving at you, honking at
Yeah.
Maybe I could borrow Trevor's sunglasses.
you. You could. I
Yeah.
have extra
They're
pairs.
incognito sunglasses.
Yeah.
Not many people know about that.
Dude, this right here is probably what keeps me from getting mauled by the general
You're
public.
probably right.
These glasses.
The ladies be looking for those sunglasses, I'm sure.
Oh,
Because they're ladies' sunglasses. Because they're ladies'
Ha true words, women's sunglasses.
No, the man behind those Foster Grants.
Oh, snap. Snap. But we have an exciting show for you guys today. We're going to be talking exciting, not really the right word.
Yeah, I think you just kind of like shot from the hip with exciting.
I did.
we
Not the
should
right
say
word.
sobering.
Sobering
show.
for sure. We're talking about red flag laws. And in particular, our guest today is going to be Eli. Let me make sure I get his last name
Yeah,
right.
you're going to want to get that right.
Pagunsan. Does that sound correct?
That sounds right.
I think I nailed it. He was a victim at 14 of red flag laws.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on. He's going to tell his story. I'm really, I was going to say excited again. That's not the right word.
No.
I'm interested to hear his side of the story and how things went down. And maybe possibly there's a way that this could have been mitigated or
Right.
handled better.
Well, yeah. And from reading his story and listening to his videos, it sounds to me like it was just all a big
Honestly,
cluster.
do you know what
jam.
it sounds like? It sounds like some kind of dystopian future that you read in a book.
Yeah.
And you're like, that'll never happen here. But it's happening here. And it's happening, what was it, like 10 years ago or something like that? Like 8 years ago.
2014.
7 years ago. Almost 8 years ago. Yeah, it's happening now. I mean, this is a reality.
Right.
We need to be aware of this.
Right. It's unfortunate that this gentleman had to endure these things, but he's out telling his story now
Absolutely.
to the masses and informing them of what happened to him and how it affected him negatively, because it's not just that he was red flagged. It's that it followed him around. Like
Yeah, that stigmatism.
nowhere he went in his own hometown, the stigma was attached to him, and he had difficulties having just normal relationships. So he had to move.
Absolutely. And if you're not aware of what red flag laws are, red flag laws, I'll get the definition here,
Yeah.
is red flag laws are a gun control law that permits police or family members to petition a state court to order the temporary removal of firearms from a person who may present a danger to others or themselves. So essentially, that means that if for some reason I thought Trevor was going to harm someone,
Yeah, if you thought that.
if I thought that, or himself, I could be like, hey, I think think he's a danger to society, and his guns will be taken away.
With no due process.
Yeah, it's essentially you're guilty until proven innocent.
Which unfortunately happens far too often with not just this, but other things as well.
And there's numerous ramifications to this, and also I can think of at least 3 abuses of this. An ex-girlfriend mad at her boyfriend. One really twisted one I heard was that a stalker could do it to the person he's stalking, so they're defenseless.
Yeah.
Which that blows me away.
I know, right? Criminals getting away with, it's kind of like someone breaks in your house and you shoot them, and then they sue you.
It circumvents the Fifth Amendment. Is that correct?
I couldn't
I
tell
believe
you
so.
Exactly off the top of my head.
Fifth, Alan, that's something good?
5th is personal incrimination.
6th, maybe?
So it may be the 6th Amendment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't remember. It's one of those. But it completely circumvents that and allows them to come in your home without substantial evidence and a warrant and remove those firearms.
It's unfortunate.
Which is scary. My voice there.
It's
Scary.
okay. But we're going to be talking with that gentleman here in a little bit. But the first thing that we probably should do is give the people what they want, and that's...
There he is.
And we're back.
Beautiful.
So
another
let's-
thing that we're going to do later in this episode is we're going to announce the winner of the $50 gift card from last week.
Yeah, we're going to do it this
We're
time,
actually going to
too.
do it this time. And we're also going to give away a gun.
Yeah. What are we giving away? Do you want to tell people now so they can just go ahead and get the sharing and the
I think
tagging
so.
started?
I think so.
So let me go ahead and tell folks what you're going to want to do to win this thing that Logan's going to throw up here is you're going to want to tag 5 of your gun friends or anybody be interested in the show in the comments. And then share this episode on your Facebook page. That's all it takes to win this.
That's super simple.
This beauty.
I'm really excited that
I
we're
am
giving
too.
away this gun
I am
because
too.
this is it's a fantastic gun.
I would say
we
so.
probably should just sell it and make money, but we're giving it away because why not?
Why not? Win and run.
You guys
Eli's
ready?
not here today, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we can really do whatever we want.
Yeah, let's do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give this away.
We should also talk about
Right
Batman
there.
today.
Or-
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, we
but
should talk about
Ruger
Batman.
Security 9. This is one of our guns from our used inventory. But if you would have told me it was brand new, I'd have believed you because it's in absolutely fantastic shape. There's little to no wear on this whatsoever.
Yeah.
But that again is a Ruger Security 9 with OD green grips.
Which,
They're not FTE. Maybe they are.
folks should know
can't really
that
tell.
most of the
There you
used
go.
guns, and we're one of the top used guns dealers in the nation. The vast majority of our used guns are in near perfect condition.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Discounted and can be purchased on our Freedom Buyers Club with only 10% down. So what would we normally price that at, Logan?
This would normally be around $350. So
$350?
Freedom Buyers Club, 10% down. You're looking about $35.
Yeah, and 90
Set that
days
one away for you. Yeah.
90 days to pay that off. Can't beat that. Screaming deal.
Not even a little bit. That's fantastic.
So I don't want to jump off course here, guys,
Yeah,
but
what's up?
I just can't stop thinking about grilling. Are you guys having the same problem I'm having?
No.
Do you wake up thinking about what you're going to grill?
No, I actually just recently gave away my grill.
What did you give away? What was the grill kind?
It was a charcoal Weber grill.
Oh my God, dude.
Well, here's
charcoal's so past.
You give it away. Are you hardwood brick? Are you chunks?
Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
Way back when.
Yesteryear.
At a garage sale with my dad. Okay. And we stumbled upon this Weber grill in absolutely brand new condition. Has not been used. And they're wanting $10 for it.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic
Dude,
deal.
that's too good to be true.
It's like $100 grill. Okay.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, oh, crap, I forgot my wallet. Hey, can you cover this real quick? I'll pay you back. I was like, sure. So I pull out my cash and I pay for it. And he's like, thanks, I'll get you back. I was like, no. No, I'm buying this grill with my money.
Yeah.
And so I kind of stole it from him.
Oh, and then you gave it away.
And then I gave it back to him.
Oh, you did end up giving it to him?
Yeah, I did.
That's pretty nice.
That's what I did recently because it was at his house.
Yeah.
And he was like, why is your grill still here? I don't know why he sounds like that, but
Yeah.
I was like, just take it. You can have it. I don't want to deal with it. So I'll have to buy a new grill. I'm in the market for a new grill if anyone.
Well, you're going to want to get a Weber.
Pellet grills are the way to go.
pellet grills?
Yeah.
Do you have a hookup?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, we
man.
can talk after
Alan.
the show.
You and I can't be friends anymore. I'm a Weber man.
Are you? What?
Weber man through and through. It's
Yeah.
the original.
it doesn't mean it's the best.
I'm a traditionalist when it comes to grills.
Okay.
None of this newfangled technology with your flat surfaces and your propanes and etc. I'm a raw when it comes to grilling.
But you use like phones and stuff, and those
That's
are new.
old school.
That's just grilling, bro. I'm talking about grilling.
Okay, fair enough.
I get close to nature and
Yeah.
chop down a tree and make a pit and spit and etc. Grill.
Spit.
Yeah, you know what a spit is, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now. I was
Not
thinking
like
you
I'm
just-
actually-
I thought you spit on the fire or something.
That's how you start a fire in the woods. You spit on it.
The highbrow term for that would be rotisserie.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's
for
what
all
I
you
was thinking
city
of.
folk
Yeah.
out there.
Rotisserie.
But I have a question for you guys.
Ask us a question.
We often think about our self-defense in terms of the firearms and the training we're going to get to
Right.
protect ourselves.
Right.
That true?
I would say so.
You think
Yes.
about the gun you're going to carry.
Yes.
You think through scenarios of when you walk into any place, you make sure you see the exits and the entrances.
Right.
You watch everyone walk in. You kind of do like a quick analysis. You're like, okay, or evaluate him. He looks good. Looks good. That person's suspicious. I'm going to keep an eye
be
on
a
him.
threat.
Okay. And then when something goes down,
Right.
you're ready to defend yourself.
Yeah.
You do a fantastic job. But you never think about what you do afterwards. And that's where U.S. Law Shield comes in. They are legal defense for your self-defense. And they do an absolutely fantastic job. And they're a big sponsor of the show. I'm a member. I think everyone in this room is a member.
Me too.
They offer a fantastic service. If you're ever in a self-defense altercation where you had to defend your life, it doesn't even have to involve firearms. They'll help you out. And no out-of-pocket cost to you whatsoever. We currently have a promo code LibertyTree, all one word. If you go to their website and click Join Now, that'll get you 14 months for the price of 12 months. I encourage you to check it out. We'll be right back on The Gun Shop Show.
Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Our member's girlfriend is on her way to pick up her kids from her ex-husband's house. She asked our member to tag along because of her ex's temper. As they arrive at the home, her ex emerges yelling and gesturing. He approaches his ex-wife and grabs her, attempting to drag her inside. Fearing for her life, our member, a trained CHL holder, jumps out of the car with his gun drawn and demands the ex-husband release her. Seeing the gun, the assailant retreats. The situation then takes a bizarre turn as the assailant dials 911 to report our member. As a result of the aggressor's lies, our member was wrongfully arrested. Our member had to undergo lengthy legal proceedings. However, he was ultimately cleared of all charges.
Talk about it. What? Yeah. Here we go. 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44. Crap. 44,000.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza.
Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
We're Dirt Road Comedy, and when we're not traveling around in our luxurious RV, we like to listen to a gun shop show.
All right, for those who didn't hear my very loud voice, my name is Eli Pagunsan. I'm from Phoenix. I got to thank my friend Jeff for driving me up here real quick, by the way. I owe you breakfast. By the way, I'm in full support of the Second Amendment sanctuary here in Yavapai, and especially any laws that go against the idea of red flag laws. I don't think anyone here who is in support of red flag laws has actually ever been red flagged. I have. And with that, I don't think those of you who support this have ever been in a situation or had to explain yourself to government officials or even officials of a school district. Spoiler alert, it's a kangaroo court, one that goes against the founding principles of the assumption of innocence before proven guilt. On top of this, you've never watched them take the video games you've played, the stories you wrote to cope with past emotional and physical abuse to make you out as a future threat. I don't think any of you had the haunting experience of watching two law enforcement officers search your room and try to use your art, your writing, your work, and your identity against you in a way that makes you look like a complete psychopath. The actual truth being you use those works to cope with the fact that your dad used to strip you naked and beat you. Is that fair? Is that the system we want to encourage? One where an individual becomes afraid to seek help in fear of government reprisals? I know about the social ruination, the embarrassment, and most of all the harassment that comes along with unproven accusations like this from red flag laws. I know about all of these because they are what caused me to move out of Palm Desert, California, and move out to Phoenix. You'll never know the feeling of shame and hopelessness accusations via red flag laws cause. To close, I hope you make the right call and defy these laws while also becoming a Second Amendment sanctuary.
Thank you, Eli.
That heartbreaking speech you just heard was given by Eli Pagunsan, who is our guest today on the Gun Shop Show. I'm really excited to talk to him. Eli, how you doing?
I'm great. After watching that, I might not be.
It certainly leaves some folks to think that you might be feeling a little somber right now, but we've gotten a chance to get to know you a little bit. You're really a really peppy individual,
optimistic,
yeah. Given that
this
your
is the
history.
face I put on him for the public.
Oh yeah. Where's your backdoor face?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
My backdoor face.
Yeah. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry about that.
I think you mean backstage.
Yeah. You're
right.
Yeah.
It depends on if Paris Hilton's having a party. So.
That makes a lot of sense.
We have her coming on after you. We'll get with her. Just kidding.
Tell her she owes me. She owes me.
Oh yeah, you pulling favors for Paris Hilton?
Yeah. Who thinks my hookup?
Oh, I get you. I get you.
It's making more and more sense the more we talk about it.
Well, Eli, as Logan said, we're grateful that you came on the show today, and as our viewers or listeners heard your story there, that you were the victim of red flag law. Why don't you take a moment to tell our listeners a little bit of the backstory on that?
So when I was 14, I was in freshman year of high school, and what happened was I had an emotional breakdown, and what happened was some people, I guess, reported me as being a school shooter, and I ended up being red flagged under a school protocol called the Kids with Guns Protocol. It's actually been renamed the STAR Protocol, Student Threat Assessment Response. That's what that stands for. It's what's been renamed now, I mean. And essentially what happened was I came under investigation. I had my room searched, and pretty much everything that was me, that I thought was normal for that time, playing first-person shooters, spending a lot of time being introverted and writing. I spent a lot of time in the library. I didn't have a lot of friends. Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening was they used pretty much all of that against me to say, oh, yeah, this guy, he's going to be the next Eric or Dylan.
Right.
I can't be two people.
Right. And those two are notoriously known for the Columbine shooting, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that those names are known. I think it only exacerbates the issue at hand with regards to school shooting, that they've kind of become they're not even.
They were dark trendsetters.
Right.
They're not. They're just dark trendsetters. That's really all it is. I just got finished reading Columbine by Dave Cullen, so I could tell you pretty much how that even took place.
Right.
Eli, the STAR program, is that something that the school district developed? Was it something?
It was something
California or the federal government? No,
it wasn't. It wasn't federal.
It wasn't.
I don't believe it was federal. However, so I thought at first it was just the school district, but like on the very end of it, I'll post a link if you guys want me to. Sure. They actually have a list of the cities that have signed off on it. It was actually a Riverside County program. To assess potential school shooters. They even have a flow chart that shows like what to do, what we are supposed to do in case you come across a potential school shooter.
And what is that? What are you supposed to do if you come across a potential school shooter?
Well, according to this system, essentially a whole law enforcement investigation starts, and what they do is they try and They have one of a district psychologist figure out if you're conscious and lucid enough to understand the real world versus, being whacked out of your mind. And in all honesty, I hate saying this, but like, why would you be honest with them? Like, no matter what you say, they basically were playing a catch-22 with me. Like, when they pulled me into the school district, I should probably tell the whole story in depth. I apologize. Let me go back.
All right. Yeah.
So my room was searched, and I was part of the Desert Screenwriters Guild back in Palm Springs, and I was actually an active member of the Palm Springs Writers Guild. And I was very active in both. I actually wrote stories at I started there when I was 12, and when I was 14, I was still with them. And I even moved on to the screenwriting group with them. And where I'm going with this is the cops actually were looking through this, through my notes for stories. And what I like to do, and what a lot of kids liked at the time, was first-person shooters.
Sure.
But for me, like, I wrote stories and I wanted to keep them as realistic as possible. So I did research on guns, things related to, military tactics, and things of that nature, because I liked writing and I wanted to make my writing as realistic as possible. And so one of the cops comes out while he's searching my room and he goes, "Is this your kill list? Are you looking to kill all of these people?" And I go, "What?" Because that didn't really make any sense to me. Why would it? I was a quiet kid with emotional issues, and what else they found was like my vent pieces on like what my dad did to me. My dad literally used to strip me naked and beat the hell out of me. Excuse my language, but where I'm going with this is, they give me this quote unquote kill list, and the top of the list reads character list. So I'm here looking at this list, looking up at the cop who's looking at me like he's got the next Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, right in front of him. And he goes, "Is this your kill list? Do you plan on killing all these people? These are fictitious names. The top of the list reads character list." And the cop says something to the effect of, normal kids don't have things like this, right? Normal kids don't play games like this.
Define a normal kid.
Maybe for him,
right?
Yeah, normal. But I remember as a kid that I did stuff really similarly to this when I was writing.
Eli, we're coming up on a break.
Sure.
We want to learn more about your story when we come back from that break.
Sure.
But Logan?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Send them out.
We'll see you right back on The Gun Shop Show.
Hey everyone, The Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key...
To success!
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key.
To success!
Or if you lock your keys in your car...
Success!
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key to success.
My name is Chris Anderson. I'm a captain with the San Antonio Police Department. I've been with my agency 27 years. My whole career in law enforcement has been spent with the San Antonio Police Department. I started off as a patrol officer like all others do, patrolling the streets of San Antonio. About 3 years after I was on the department, I made the SWAT team, and I stayed in tactical special operations by virtue of SWAT, the gang units, street crime arrest teams, tactical response units, all types of things within that particular forte until I started to make rank. And I've been a captain for 11 years now, and I've been involved in everything from Homeland Security to patrol operations to the night commander's job, special operations, and now I'm the commander of the Special Investigations Unit. Police officer's job at the scene of a crime is simply to protect the people who are there, prevent further injury or death, preserve physical and testimonial evidence, collect it, and deliver it for processing in a criminal case. We do not determine guilt or innocence at a scene, and it's an important role in our job to remain as neutral and unattached from feelings of guilt or innocence as we can. About 90% of the people that we interact with on the streets at any given time are good, solid citizens who are trying to abide by all the laws that they know. Typically, when they interact with a police officer, it's because they violated something in the things that they don't know. And the Texas Penal Code book and Code of Criminal Procedures, local government laws, family codes, and a variety of other things are in a book that's about 8 inches thick. Most police officers don't know most of the information in it, and naturally that would tend to lead you to understand that most citizens definitely wouldn't know them all. So most of the interactions that police officers in Texas have with normal citizens is involving a law that those folks don't even know exists. Many times, and especially depending upon the level of experience that they have with the job, the speed by which they determine who's an actual suspect and who just may be a person of interest as a witness or possibly a victim is hard to determine initially. Factors that they're aware of at the scene, it all depends on those things to determine whether someone's telling the truth or not. There are obvious cases when someone's trying to deceive us, and there are people who are very good at deceiving the police. At that point, we may take a lot of people into what we term an investigative custody, or make an investigative detention on them for the purpose of determining who the actual suspects, victims, and witnesses might be. And our goal at that time is to legally arrest and take into custody the persons responsible for the crime.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his original framing. Just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. Have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the Woodshed, had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
Welcome back. I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's that question?
Do you guys want to win a gun?
Yes, we want to win a gun.
I love winning.
So simple. We're giving away this Ruger Security 9 here.
Giving away what?
A Ruger Security 9. Now, this is used, but man, it looks like it's in absolutely fantastic shape for being a used gun.
I've literally seen thousands of used guns. That thing looks brand new to me.
It really does look brand new, but we're giving that away absolutely free. All you have to do is share this feed and tag 5 of your friends.
5 of your gun friends.
Super
so
simple. Yeah, make sure you tag the people you think would be interested in this, not those anti-gun people. Leave these people be.
They're not.
Tag your gun friends, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win Ruger Security 9 here.
And those are super great guns. I have to
super
say.
reliable. They're backed by a fantastic company. I'm a big Ruger fan. I know it sounds like a Ruger advertisement, but
right?
They're just good.
Yeah, this show's not brought to you by Ruger.
Yet.
Yet. Oh, you killed it, man. I was going to make them linger.
I'm sorry. I wrote it for you. But anyway, Eli, let's get back to your story from right where you left off, if that works for you.
So where was I? So essentially, you know, they go through my room and they're trying to pretty much put together pieces of me and trying to make this really jacked up picture of, you know, the next school shooter. And the thing is, the first thing they asked when they came in, I swear I really wish I'd mentioned this before, was does your family own any firearms? And my mom is very anti-gun, and she goes, no, we don't have any firearms. Do you know if your son owns any firearms? Okay, first off, I know I don't want to bring the race card into this, right? You don't hide things from an Asian mom. like you don't hide things from an Asian mom because she will find them. The shorter they are, the scarier they'll be. Am I allowed to make that joke?
I can see that.
I mean, I've heard some comedians go on about it. I think Joe Coy is one of those ones. His mom is a big part of his life, and
because one of the things I grew up was fearing was slippers. Getting this chucked at me from across the room. Yeah. But anyway, that joke aside, I'm just that joke aside, my mom's like, no, my son doesn't own guns. He literally has never caused any trouble before. This is new. She still let them in because she was scared. Because she grew up in the Ferdinand Marcos presidency, which was backed by Reagan, and essentially, if you were accused of being a communist, you had your gun rights taken away from you, and 50% of the time you get lined up and shot. That being said, so they're going through my room. And they're trying to find guns, anything that, could make me seem like I'm dangerous or anything. But they find nothing. They literally do not find anything. But they do take notes, which they pass on to the school district, which I'm actually going somewhere with. So what they do is they leave. And the next day I have to go to this disciplinary hearing with the school district where they pretty much plan on expelling me from the district. And what ends up happening is I go into this district disciplinarian meeting, and you get this when you take enough ass beatings, a look of somebody that has it out for you, if that makes any sense. That cocky, determined, I'm gonna get you one way or another look, like you're the hero of some story that hasn't been written or something.
Right.
And that's the vice principal's look. The disciplinarian looks like a deer in headlights. He's kind of just confused, like, why is this short 5'4" kid just walking in here? Doesn't look like a troublemaker. He doesn't have any gang affiliations,
right?
And so they sit me down, and the vice principal is like grilling me with questions that are clearly meant to pretty much make me sound crazy. Oh, how many friends do you have? And they made me write down the list of most of my friends. And what they did was they interviewed them to try and figure out, is he going to shoot up a school? Does he say anything about plans about killing people? And they pulled my high school sweetheart in at the time. They pulled pretty much all my friends. I didn't give up the names of a few of them. And I'm happy that I didn't give them up. But they pulled the cops had interviewed like everyone that I knew to try and fix to bury me. So the vice principal, I'm sorry that I keep going on these weird tangents.
It's okay.
The vice principal goes, so what kind of games do you play? And my mom is just giving me this don't say it. Don't you dare be honest this time. This time do not be honest. And I go, and so I'm thinking over my responses carefully, and I go, RPGs. And I see this guy's ears perk up like, go on, sir.
Yeah.
RPGs.
Yes, here's
I
the
go,
news. Like he's trying to set you up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I go, role-playing games. And I think, oh, that sounds pretty innocent. Like I go, tabletop, 40K, you know, things like
Right.
that.
Absolutely.
As you can tell, I get really lucky with the women. Anyway, you know, I'd say tabletop, 40K, Dungeons and Dragons. Well, the women love that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm sorry. So he goes, oh, so you like getting lost in fantasy. Why? Is the real world too hard for you? I'm like, Lord help me, or I will smack you across the head.
Yeah, like this guy's never seen a movie or read a book.
Right.
Yeah, like, you know, and he's like, oh, you like getting lost in fantasy? Why is the real world too hard? And I just remember, like, I didn't answer. I just sat there, and I remember, like, someone said, I think it was me or someone else said, what are you going to ask? Because I remember he was sitting there with a bunch of notes on his desk based on everything that he had found. What the police had found in my room. So what had happened was they started, they're going down the list, and they go, what video games do you play? I'm like, I basically BS'd that question too, because what are you supposed to do? Like, if I'm honest, I'm walking off the gallows.
Right.
If I lie, I'm still walking off the gallows.
Catch 22.
So, yeah, they ask another question is, you know, they then ask, oh, how many friends do you have? And then after that, it was, oh, do you feel like you're bullied? Do you have any issues? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of that term, bullying. You know, and what ends up happening is what I had done weeks prior was I actually was telling them that I was being hassled because I was an Asian kid growing up in a Hispanic school. And what I was telling them was like, hey, here's what's happening. Please help me. And they kind of just looked the other way the whole time. And, you know, so the disciplinarian's like, well, we're going to expel you, this, that, and the other. And I can tell my mom is just mad at this point. Okay, but what about all of this that, like, my son's been telling you guys about for the past month? And disciplinarian looks at this and he goes, he's looking through this. And he's just got this face of, oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What have I done?
And yeah, so the the vice principal is giving this like look of just, oh dear, what is this to him? And tells him basically, get out. He talks to me and he basically says, look, we're not going to expel you from the district now that you've shown us this, but we will expel you from this school specifically. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, you know, it's not the worst thing that could have happened.
Right. And this feels like a failure of, you know, that particular school
on
to
so many levels.
I mean, not only have you been telling them that you've been bullied, if I'm understanding you correctly, and they did nothing about it, but then this moment comes along where they could do a better job of handling it, and they essentially kick you out rather than welcome you in, which is kind of how you've been treated in some way. You've been rejected from, you know, the society within the school, and you feel as though, you know, you're a loner, and then all they do is make you even more of a loner. We're coming up on the end of this break here. Bullying is a terrible thing, and I myself have been one of those people, and my parents told me to fight back. So I did. Same. I used my hands.
Same.
Coming on a break. We'll be right back on The Gun Shop Show.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and it's just land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
I'm Lulu, and I watch the Gun Shop Show because all the fellers are handsome.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I want to give you a chance to win a gun.
You are basically the Santa Claus of this show right now.
This gun in particular, Ruger Security 9, 9mm, polymer framed. It's a fantastic firearm. All you have to do is share the feed and tag 5 friends.
And that's 9 more secure than the regular Ruger Security.
It is. It is.
It's 9. You take 9 more.
9 Ruger Securities and you get the Ruger Security 9. It's that simple.
Yep.
Anyway, so just tag, share the feed and tag 5 friends. That's it.
It's
super
easy.
simple. Super simple. So, Eli, where we left off with your story is that you had just been expelled, not from your district, but from just your school. How did you take that? How did you cope with that?
Hold on, before we go there. Okay. So right after that, I actually wanted to. I thought you'd be interested in this part.
Sure.
They had me quote unquote psych evaled by a district psychologist, which I did not trust, because I at the time I did have a shrink for the abuse that I had growing up. But now I have some district shrink trying to figure out if I'm sane and lucid.
The one that the other side serves you is never looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for the interests of the party of which they represent.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what was your question? I'm sorry.
What did I say?
After they...
Logan, you had a question?
After they had determined that you had been and reported your bullying and they did nothing about it, did they take any action to change their policies, change their procedures, or was it just
not that I'm aware of?
Swept, you're gone, so it's gone.
I was just swept under the rug the whole time. They swept it under the rug, and then it didn't make it any better when I went to the new school. I went to another public school after that was close to me, and what ended up happening was. I remember pretty well, people remembering me. Oh yeah, my brother goes to this school, and that guy's the next school shooter kid. And I just remember being very careful about not engaging them. There was a lot of self-control that I had to really put in to just not be seen as that guy again.
Gosh, yeah.
I didn't.
Terrible label to have applied to you. What a package that the other one sent over. Hey, we're going to send you this kid. I mean, is this other school the school that has all the kids who were
no, it wasn't
feared to be school shooters? I mean,
and it didn't make it any better that a lot of the cops that were on that case had kids that went to this particular school. So it was oh my God, please stop talking about me at the dinner table. Just please.
Right.
Oh, be careful of that kid. Oh, hey, I literally remember because I was really nice to people in class. I remember I was really I tried to work with people as best as I could. And I remember this guy's kid was he goes, yeah, my dad warned me about you. What? Yeah, he said that to stay away from you and to watch out for you. I'm and I told him, so do you see me that way? No, you seem like a really nice dude. I'm like, well, at least I can count on that, right?
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Yeah. It sounds like that they targeted you as this potential school shooter, and they did whatever they found, whatever they could to mold you into the next school shooter, regardless of if you had the capabilities or not. It's like they had this mold of you, and they chiseled it away until you fit that perfect definition of a school shooter. And my question is, as far as the STAR program, that's what it's called, correct? The STAR program.
That's what it's called as of 2017. That's
How
correct.
how low is that bar to start the investigation?
We have a list of the.
Like, what does it take for someone to say, I think he's a school shooter?
Honestly, all it
let's
takes
get it
is
going.
somebody just saying, I think he might shoot up a school based on X BS reason from what I've like read on that protocol. Because when you read the list that Trevor's about to talk about, I'm assuming, I can. It's such a blanket statement. Has dark themes. What kid wasn't thinking of dark themes growing up? God forbid you have like a death in the family.
Yeah, and I want to know what kid wasn't playing first-person shooters growing up.
Well,
in 2014,
I wasn't, but
recently.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I lived through the '90s when they were trying to use those games as a way to
Mortal
indicate.
Kombat was a big one.
It's the same thing. Well, yeah, it was, and that was a game that I played as a kid. Not to get too graphic, but ripping people apart. But it's.
And did you want to do that in real life after that?
No, because you know why? I'm channeling it in a place where it's not hurting anybody. I'm not going out and doing that. I don't wonder, like, what's going to happen if I do this? Like, it's make believe. I move on.
Right.
It's like reading the Indian in the cupboard. I don't go buy a plastic Indian and shove it in a cupboard and expect that it's going to become real and live the rest of my life that way. Video games are the same way. It's like a movie that you're playing. It's not real. Like, we have all these action movies where plenty of things are exploding and plenty of people are making money as a result of that, and no one wants to analyze that or overanalyze it as if it's the issue. They look at video games because people are interacting with it and then going out on murderous rampages as their character in GTA. But
you guys aren't quite as old as I am, so you don't remember before the video games it was heavy metal rock music.
I do remember that, Alan. That was I remember Dee Snider from Twisted Sister going into Congress.
Yeah.
Such a great
I was watching that YouTube video where he just walks in and he's still got his getup on. There's not even a formal. I was like, oh, American hero right here.
Right. And it's really no different. Like, what he's doing is really no different, in his genre than what Kiss did in the decade prior to that. It's theater plus music. It's not I'm wanting to be a woman and be a rock star.
If I may. Yeah, if I may, this was in 2014. The two most popular games at the time were Halo Reach, Battlefield 4, and Modern Warfare. Like, this wasn't exactly like a new thing, but do go on.
Yeah, it's been going on for a while, but those are all games that everybody, that was playing at the time. I'm sure my nephew was playing those games. He's really into the military, wants to join the military after he graduates from high school. He's really interested in firearms, and these all came as a byproduct of playing these games. And I don't necessarily think that there's anything wrong with him having those aspirations, like he wants to serve his country as a result of playing these video games. He's not going to school and causing harm with anybody. But we have this list here. If it's okay with you, I'll read some of these things off for our audience.
Do you have the full list, or is it the
one you sent in the email I have here?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot, so I may not get into all of this because it is pretty long, but I'll try to be thorough here.
If I may, the initial list, the actual Kids with Guns protocol, actually goes in depth with like the types of media. That one's just kind of a tertiary look, but go on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one is typically between the ages 11 and 16. May not have ever been arrested or been to juvenile court for a law violation. Few or no friends. Withdrawn. Excessive feelings of rejection. May have moved frequently. Feelings of being picked on and persecuted. Depression. May have difficulty coping with significant losses or personal failures. May have suicidal comments or self-mutilated. May be a victim of violence or abuse. Pattern of angry behavior. may have history of tantrums, explosive rage, may have felt bullied, persecuted by others, violent or dark themes, discussion, drawings, writings, fantasies, video games, posters, music, computers, internet, text, and cell phone activity, preoccupation with guns, explosive devices, or possibly other dangerous weapons, animal cruelty, torture or mutilation of animals in the past history of setting fires, verbal cues, talks about something, quote, big happening, talks about being noticed, becoming famous, makes specific threats against a person or group, access to guns and knowledge of their use. Parents may minimize or deny. That was the entire list that I have here. And I have to tell you, Eli, I hit significant numbers of those as a child. I would have been pegged right along with you for those sorts of things. Of course, when
most
I was
people
young,
would have.
Yeah, when I was young, school shootings weren't happening. You know, I graduated in 1998. I think Columbine happened in 99. We had a lot of bomb threats, but no school shootings. But I know they want to do something about it, and I give them credit for that. But ruining people's lives or childhoods is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm. What's most shocking to me is that they have this list of like characteristics that a potential school shooter may have.
Mm-hmm.
They have that they may have experienced physical abuse in the past, and instead of focusing on your entire story and trying to help you, especially if the stuff you were dealing with in your past with the abuse, they focus on what you're going to do because of this.
Yeah, and kick you out.
Yeah, there's no help. They chastise you, they label you, and then they cast you out. And now you're more of an outsider than you were before. How are you supposed to recover from that? You know, how are you supposed to get better?
And that's the thing I was pointing out to other people is like a weaker person than me would have probably either done something really awful or off themselves. God forbid. Like, I only happened to get through the things I did because I had a good support network of friends that like looked at this and went, wow, yo, dude, how did this happen? Like, and then they pulled me through the whole thing.
Well, it's great that you
told me that
like willing to do that.
Told me that like, look, dude, they can say all they want about you. You live in California, though. This isn't the real world.
Right. Certainly not a great representation. Eli, we're coming up on the end of the segment here.
End of the first hour. If you're watching on TV, you're going to want to go to our Facebook page, libertytreeguns.com. Go over, or not Liberty Tree Guns, but Liberty Tree Guns. Go over there. Watch us live. We'll be right back on The Gun Shop Show. The Gun Shop Show.
Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Hey members, thank you again for joining us today. I have spent a lot of time talking to several of our independent program attorneys who have all given me the same great practical advice on what to do if you ever have to display or use your firearm to stop a threat. Always make sure you call 911 to report that you were almost a victim of a crime. Why? Because if you don't, there is a very high likelihood that the bad guy will call 911 and report you as the criminal. This exact scenario is illustrated by the story of Scott, one of our members from Colorado. This is what happened. Scott was exiting the supermarket when he was verbally assaulted by two individuals who were looking for an altercation. The verbal assault became so heated that our member was afraid for his life. Scott was forced to defuse this potential deadly threat by displaying his firearm and demanding to be left alone. Being the cowards that they were, the bad guys backed away. Our member, however, made a critical mistake, thinking the situation was over, and drove off. It was only a few blocks away. Scott was pulled over, handcuffed, and taken into custody. How in the world did this happen? Well, the answer is simple. The bad guys called 911 first and reported Scott as the aggressor. The lesson here is criminals lie. Scott was the victim of the crime and was charged with disorderly conduct, and only after a lengthy legal process, all charges were dismissed. Since Scott is a member of U.S. Law Shield, he ended up paying 0 attorney's fees. Unfortunately, this ordeal still disrupted his life. Members, please do not let this happen to you. Thank you, Scott, for sharing your story with us. Members, if you have a great story relating to owning a firearm or how your U.S. Law Shield membership has benefited you, we want to hear about it. Share your story at memberstories@uslawshield.com, and maybe we will include it in our next newsletter.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So
right.
just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right. I'll do better this
and
time.
then and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
old glory actions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Our member is involved in a brief road rage incident. One driver cuts off another in traffic, and harsh words and gestures soon follow. After the pleasantries are exchanged, our driver goes on his way, assuming the incident is over. However, still agitated, the other driver calls 911 and reports our member as aggressive, possibly having seen a weapon in his hand. In reality, what he saw was our member flipping him the bird. In an incident that can only be described as an overreaction by officers, our member is pulled over. When officers learn that he carries a legal concealed firearm, they arrest him despite a lack of evidence. This incident is just one of numerous member experiences. Be aware when traveling with a firearm. Any aggressive actions made by you, right or wrong, can land you in jail. Don't let it happen to you.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. With 40-plus sizing positions. Styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom, crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Hey there. We got your lab results back. It looks like you have a fever, and the only prescription is more Gun Shop Show.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Hi, I'm a gun, and you can win me just by tagging 5 friends and sharing the feed.
Aw, man, that is
It's really that simple.
the cutest gun ever. Is that the Smurf of guns?
That is the Smurf gun. That's the Ruger Security 9 we're giving away. All you have to do is tag five friends and share the feed.
That's pretty simple, man.
That's it.
What else
Super
can you
simple.
do? I mean, it costs hundreds of dollars to buy a gun, or you can spend 3 seconds touching your phone twice.
Oh yeah, it doesn't take much time at all. And here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing.
What's the biggest thing?
Well, it's free gun. That's a big thing.
Right.
But odds of winning, pretty dang good.
I like those
It's
odds.
better than playing the lottery.
I tell you what, I'd walk
It's
into a
better than going
casino.
to the casino.
I'd walk into a casino if my odds were pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Amen to
Trevor,
that.
Yeah.
I think we just had Logan introduce the Baby Ruger.
Oh, the Baby Ruger
Baby
Security
Ruger.
9.
The Baby Ruger Security 9.
I'm Baby Ruger. That went into
That
the Michael
sounds
Jackson
so bad.
territory. I
Yeah.
didn't like it.
I was thinking Towley from South Park. I don't know why. I
Oh,
thought
or that.
Towley.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's a good.
Is that her?
I have no idea what's
Mr.
going
Hanky?
on. That is exactly what it sounds like.
Hey man, I do.
All I remember from
tally.
that is like when he's huffing the computer cleaner because he runs out of money for drugs. So he's just in his like it's supposed to be presented as so dark, but he's just here huffing computer cleaner from Staples.
Oh, it
He's
would
got
be
like the
sad.
Staples bag.
It would be sad if it wasn't a towel, you know?
Yeah.
The fact that it's a towel,
Yeah.
you know, like his life is a towel. He's just a towel, man, living a towel life and doing drugs. Doing drugs is a towel.
Drugs. Okay. So let's get
Dial it back in.
Yeah, let's get back into
Okay,
what we were talking about. Okay, let's pull.
Hang on, I got some computer cleaner right here.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We'll take
you-
we'll
is
take
this
a
your-
5-minute break.
Is this your way of telling us that you're half towel? I'm just kidding.
Made
That was a-
look.
Yeah.
Some part of it was made in Asia, but it wasn't China at least. So you're not supporting that.
The tag made in China, assembled.
Okay. So my God, I can't do this.
You can
okay.
do it, dude.
So
I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a breath.
Last we left off,
Eli, you had just been kicked out, and you were off at a new school. People were already talking about you. Tell us a little bit more about that and how that progressed and how you handled that.
So it was really difficult for me to, just being in that school was hard for me. I got into a few incidences that I don't really want to get into detail about, but it was really hard. And it got to the point where my mom noticed that like I was kind of just withdrawing from people more and more and more and more. Because I just didn't want to be known as that guy. Honestly, I didn't. I was always watching what I said, and I can say it might be just a California thing, but I was afraid of how people thought of me, and that's something that still sticks with me today. Is like
I think that's kind of. Sorry to cut you off, but that's kind of a human thing, especially growing up, your teenage years. You care a lot more about what people think of you.
Right, you're developing an identity. I mean, I felt lonely.
Well,
too.
that
is
being,
really. Sorry,
go
well,
ahead.
that being said, the investigation amplified that, like to ways that I wish I could really explain now. But go on.
Well, they were portraying you in a light that you had no
defense against.
Yeah, no defense against
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I mean, it goes into the news and the paper.
It was they made this persona for you that there's in no way, shape, or form you identified with, and that's really hard to combat, especially as someone still trying to find themselves growing up. I mean, I can see how scary and lonely that must have been for you, because I think at least on some level everyone's experienced something like that growing up.
I'm good to continue. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, I ended up the year after that. I actually went to an alternate school. It was an experimental thing that they did called the Independent Studies Program. And how that worked was like I would visit my teachers. once a week. They give me the entire week's work, and I could just work on that on my own time, which gave me a lot of time to do things like talk trash on the internet. But that's not that's not the point.
So provide a service to YouTube.
Yeah. So I spent a lot of time, doing different things. I tried Twitch streaming at one point. I tried, doing Let's Plays. I did a lot. I even started working my first job a little after my 18th birthday.
What'd you play?
This isn't a catch-22. My bad. Arma 2 DayZ was what I used to play a lot. The boys would get on a Skype call and we'd play Arma 2 DayZ, and that's actually how I got into firearms more. That, Band of Brothers, and Medal of Honor Frontline.
Cool.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
but
I haven't played that one.
It's a fun one. That's actually the game that used the scene from Saving Private Ryan as its intro for first level.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. There was another Medal of Honor. I can't remember which it was called, but they did you played the storming of Normandy Beach.
That's Frontline. That's Frontline.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead. So you went to a new school from this second school?
Yep, and a lot of what they were all concerned about was, they don't socialize as much. For me, that was amazing. I was like, I don't have to deal with people my age.
No more awkward hallway walks.
Right.
No more listening to music in one ear, so I don't have to hear what people are telling me as I'm walking by. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I just go to class, turn in work, discuss the work, go home for a week, and then cram on day 6.5. I ain't complaining.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, no, but honestly, that's when kind of things started turning out for me. A little after high school, I worked at Toyota for a bit, and I actually went to community college for automotive tech. I hated working at Toyota because everyone knew me as the guy most likely to shoot up work because of the incident from when I was 14. Wow. Yeah. And
how would is this something that was? I don't know the size of your town, but was this a story that was really big? Was it on news at night?
It wasn't on the news or anything. It was just word of mouth. Hey, don't hang around that guy. He might kill you.
So when you went to work at Toyota, someone there may have known you, or
a few of the techs knew me from when I was 14. And
so
they just
in some ways, that's just continued bullying, bringing it up, especially if it's not something that you want to talk about, you don't want to hear about, you don't want that loop.
Yeah, I just want to be a normal human being. That's
right.
it.
Right. And whether it's
I don't want to be known as that.
Right. And if someone's ribbing you about it or they believe it to be true, it doesn't really matter. The point is
there's a line between, because there's a line between, talking trash with the boys at the shop.
Exactly.
And then just ragging on someone because you have nothing better to do with your time.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Using it as a weapon to degrade you and make you feel like less of a person is not okay. Yeah. So, was there, I'm curious. We're leaving the part where you are out of school now, but did you ever take any legal action against the school for, what do they call that? Libel? Isn't there some?
I don't believe, okay. So that recently I never did because I was too scared, and my mom was scared too because she didn't want any backlash from it. And I actually checked recently. This is related, and I asked Arizona attorney, "Hey, is this legal? What they did to me in Arizona?" Just a hypothetical, and they're like, "Yeah, it's above board. It's immoral, but it's not illegal." And I'm like, "Oh, that's
shocking,
awesome."
Right. Because they had some protocol in hand that made it legitimate. Defamation was the word I was looking for there, not libel.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you never took legal action against them.
No.
Right. Have you had any contact with any of those individuals since you left? No follow up. No. Hey.
Honestly, I wrote a letter to the district and the school board, saying I am literally going to expose you. Good luck, boys.
Yeah. Was this before you went public with your story and the nature
the story had been public. the story was public for a while, but not to the extent that I've been pushing it recently.
Yeah.
So did they ever come out and say, okay, we've investigated, sorry that, we put you through this, but we don't think you are a school shooter, or that, we messed up our profile, and sorry to put you through all the,
Nothing like that. I have not received anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's one of the and the thing is like, for the longest time it was like, oh yeah, civil suit, I finally get what's mine. But then it got to the point where it's like, all I want is an apology at this point.
Right.
An apology would go a long way, because at the very least it says we screwed up and we don't want it to happen again. But that's not what's happening.
Right. No one learned from their lesson. They were just like, well, we dodged a bullet here, guys. Not accepting the fact that this affected a human life in a negative way tremendously, to the point that correct me if I'm wrong, but you moved out of California into Arizona. Eli, we are closing in on the end of the segment, but I'd like to talk a little bit more about that story. Sure. Yeah. So I'm just going to basically just spew up a few minutes here, or seconds here, because I tripped over my own words. And so, we got like 30 seconds. But anyway.
Cool, yeah.
When we get back from the break, folks, we'll talk a little more with Eli. We're going to keep him through the rest of the show. So we'll learn a little more about his story, et cetera, et cetera.
Et cetera, et cetera. And if you want to win a free gun, all you have to do is, wow, my voice cracked.
It's okay, buddy.
Need to work on puberty a little bit, but share the feed and tag 5 friends. That's it. We'll see you right back on the Gun Shop Show.
Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key
to success.
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key
to success.
Or if you lock your keys in your
to
car.
Success.
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success.
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key to success.
Talk about it. What? Yeah, here we go. 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44,000 business cards. I said 44. Crap. 44,000.
Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his original framing. Just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. Have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the Woodshed, had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
Listen here, Pilgrim. This here is the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. If you want to enter in to win this Ruger Security 9, all you have to do is share the feed and tag 5 friends. It's
pretty simple.
That simple. And I don't know why I was talking like that, but it's okay.
Don't know either.
It's really not the best way to talk. I'm running out of breath pretty quick.
It's okay, buddy.
But so, Eli, you were working at, you said Toyota, the dealership?
Did they love what you did for them?
I was a lube technician for Toyota,
Okay.
but I kind of watched how the other mechanics worked, and I figured out, wow, auto mechanics is a scam.
Like, imagine that. You have the right tools, and it's easy.
Right.
When I started like looking into it, it was like, wow. I even got to learn that like they do different employee pricing for parts versus what they sell everybody else. So I'm
really?
Well, I think I think that's a little. That seems pretty industry wide. You know, the closer you are to the source, the more options you have for buying at cheaper rates.
I still need the hookup.
Right. That's why you're an insider. Right. You keep that night job at the mechanic place so that you can get those cheap parts.
But yeah, so I moved to Arizona, and the thing is, I'm trying to contextualize this in a way that makes sense. Is I didn't even know what happened to me was wrong. Right. I didn't really think that what happened to me really affected me that much. I always kind of just chalked up like the post-traumatic stress and everything that I've been through as just, it's everything my dad did. And don't get me wrong, that was part of the issue, right? Yeah. And for the longest time, like, I didn't really believe in therapy, and because in California, even like I hadn't said really what had happened, why I was messed up, and I kind of compartmentalized all those thoughts, so they didn't really come out right when I was, talking with a therapist in Cali. So I come to Arizona, and I think, therapists are a scam, this, that, and the other, and my stupid ass decides, I'm going to start self-medicating. And what I started doing was, I started drinking, and it really wasn't good for me. I'd just be massively depressed, and some memory would come out in like a burst, but I wouldn't know exactly which one would happen. And I didn't really sort through my own emotions properly. So I was just kind of a drinking mess for the first 2 years I was out here.
And you're sober now?
I was still up mostly. I can control it. I back then, like when I worked ended up cleaning cars at one point, and it was just a garbage job. I hated where I worked, and I hated like the demand that was on me. Although I did like my coworkers, don't get me wrong. I would down a shot of whiskey every morning because I just hated like the demand, and I just needed to dull that. Man, I hate this. Oh yeah, I just have 10 cars in 1 hour, and you want it done in 10 minutes? Well, sure. Let me just fly.
Right. Well, I myself am a recovering drinker, and I found that that was a really good way to oppress any emotion with regard to depression. So, I mean, I definitely sympathize with you on that. What I found later on, though, is, replace that thing with healthier things, and it will create a much happier existence.
And it got to the point where, like, I just kind of woke up hungover one morning and went, I need to go to therapy. This is really bad for me. And this was like, and I drank and I smoked for like a year straight, and the moment I stopped smoking was chasing a bus and feeling like my lungs were on fire and going, this is really bad for me. this is really bad for me.
Yeah, it was the same way for me, man. I had to give up smoking because I always felt like I was gasping for air, like I could never breathe.
Felt like there was sandpaper in my lungs for like because I smoked for like a year straight, and I felt like there was sandpaper in my lungs. And I was like, I should just stop doing this now.
That must have been an incredibly long cigarette if it lasted a year. Most of them only last 7 minutes. That's the sound of a joke crashing right there.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, there's like sounds a lot like a plane crash.
And there were no survivors.
Sorry, I didn't mean to divert your story.
The space shuttle Endeavour called your joke was on board it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I accept that as my reality.
Anyway, but yeah, and I started going to therapy, and it. You ever watch Good Will Hunting?
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Not you, man.
Okay,
not you.
Well, the reason why I ask that is because like a lot of people make fun of the tropes, the cliches in that film.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite.
Oh no, but people make fun of it. But like, it started off as me joking around, and then it just kind of like the first few sessions were just me joking around and kind of like having that little bubble of I don't know if I can trust you, and then I started opening up more, and my therapist was like understanding of that. And what ended up happening was I started putting a lot of pieces together, and I was scared of telling people about the red flag thing. I told people about the child abuse because honestly, to me, that was socially acceptable.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that's really dumb to talk about, but like, to me, talking about child abuse was socially acceptable. Talking about, I got flagged as a school shooter is probably not something you want to hear.
Right.
And
Well,
that was
I
the
think you're
biggest thing
right.
I was scared of.
I think you're right. I mean, in that comparison, one is way more prevalent in everyday conversation, sadly. One is not and has a stigma attached to it.
Well, and I think one, you want to feel compassion for the person that was the abuse. The other one, you're like, I don't
Maybe
know
this guy's
what
crazy.
Emotion, I don't know what emotion. Well, what did you do, or how did they suspect you of that? You must have been one crazy dude.
And that's why like it took a lot of coaxing from my therapist is like, hey, look, as long as you don't say anything like you have a threat to kill people or anything like that, everything's fair game. I'm like, well, if you want to 5150 me and have an ambulance here, feel free. Like I don't even care. And well, because it got to the point where like I showed up to therapy hungover. My therapist was like, "Okay, dude, what happened and why did you come into therapy hungover?" And I told him about the investigation. I opened up about the investigation. I go, this is gonna wear on my soul if like I keep hiding it, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. And so I told him what happened, and he goes, okay, thank you for telling me that, and trust me that's not the worst thing I've heard. Oh, okay. But it was good for me to get that off, get that off my soul. And
absolutely.
So what happened was like I started telling more and more. I started opening up my story to like close friends and explaining, I got flagged under this protocol, and they did this, that, and the other. And they start pointing out, Eli, you got red flag, dude. I'm like, no, that's not a red flag. They didn't take any guns from me. And then I realized more and more that's semantics. They still had a reason to believe that I was dangerous, and they had law enforcement search my room and look for firearms on.
Yeah, if you had
in
any
that
firearms,
regard.
they would have taken them for sure.
Any weapon.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and that's and I understood that.
Yeah.
And then, that's when I start.
We're coming up on the end of this segment. We'll pick back up on that when we get back after the break. Logan?
Yeah, absolutely.
Treat the folks.
We'll be right back.
Win guns.
On. Yeah, you can win some guns. On the Gun Shop Show.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Glory actions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do that.
And then also, it's covering up my face. So
I'll
just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll do better this
and
time.
then and so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, glory actions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Old Glory auctions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma devastated the Texas and Florida coast, causing unprecedented damage. During difficult times like these, we tend to experience the best out of people, as seen in countless heroic images of neighbor helping neighbor. However, these events can also bring out the worst out of people, seeking to take advantage when you are the most vulnerable. From the moment rain and wind started, calls have been pouring into our emergency attorney hotline from members who were forced to abandon guns in their homes overtaken by floodwaters, as well as members who have had to protect their property from looting. Our member John was one of those callers after he was forced to use his gun. Here is his story. During Harvey, John and his son were combating the water that continued to rise in their home. Suddenly, John noticed a truck driving up and down the street, creating wakes. Each time the truck passed, it pushed more water into John's home. As the truck was coming back around, John's son went out to confront the driver and ask him to stop. John didn't recognize the truck as being from the neighborhood and was worried the driver might be casing the street looking for an opportunity to loot empty houses. Responsibly and legally armed, he followed his son outside. As John walked toward the truck, the driver started accelerating straight at his son. John, fearing for his son's safety, fired a single shot in order to startle the driver and give his son time to move. When the police arrived, they intended to arrest John for deadly conduct. He called the Lost Shield emergency hotline and was immediately advised by his independent program attorney. After the attorney talked to the police, they determined that a crime had not been committed because John acted in lawful defense of his son. Thank goodness John is a Lost Shield member and knew exactly what to do when the police arrived. We were there for John when he needed us most, and we are here for you 24/7 with our attorney-answered emergency hotline.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. When we left off, Eli, you were telling us about how you kind of started coming out public with your story. If you could, please continue with that. And I do have a question about that. When did you decide to go public, and how did you feel about that when you finally decided?
So I start telling people what happened to me, and I start pointing out the things that happened to me. And I was part of a writing forum for a little bit, and I started writing down what had happened to me in order. I even made a little skeleton for what had happened to me in order, because I could never tell the story in order. for some reason. I maybe it's just how the memories were or how everything was set up. But how it ended up coming out was, I started talking on a writing forum about what happened to me, and everyone's horrified reactions of, how haven't you killed yourself yet? Jesus, dude. Like, were enough to tell me that, this isn't normal. This is not normal. Like, cause, and like people are coming out and admitting to me, is like, dude, if this happened to me, I'd have killed myself a long time ago. I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but like,
like that's dark.
And I think that that kill myself thing is just, it's kind of like hate. The word hate, it kind of gets thrown out there a lot. I don't know. Had you contemplated that as a way to escape?
Actually, yes. Yeah, but the thing is I actually lost a really good friend of mine at 15 to that. His ex-girlfriend coaxed him into suicide, and
wow,
it's a can of worms and a half. But this happened actually 3 months after I was red flagged, and she was cleared of all charges.
Wow.
But because she was a kid and didn't know any better. Where was that sentiment when I was being red flagged?
Right.
All right.
They were treating you like a criminal before they had any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing is like, so anyway, so on the topic of going public with the story, so I start telling people what happened to me. I'm sitting in a Discord call with a few other people, and what ends up happening is I tell the whole story. I tell this whole story in depth, and I tell them like, this happened to me, and they start explaining, dude, you got red flagged. And I'm like, no, red flagging involves, the seizure of firearms, this, that, and the other. And they're like, dude, that's semantics. You literally got investigated for being like a potential threat. Oh.
So Eli, did you like end up on any lists? Like you couldn't go to the mall, or you couldn't go to banned from going to the movie theaters or anything?
No, nothing like that.
No.
Christ's sakes, they get me like I own guns. I'm able to purchase guns. I even have a concealed carry permit for the state of Arizona.
Do you get delays?
I was never charged. No, I was never charged with anything.
Oh, okay. I'm sure it would still be on your record in some form or fashion.
I don't think so, because I would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably on.
I would have been charged, and I apologize for the giant bear staring into the camera.
No, it's okay. I think we, some of us operate under the assumption that even though it's not, on your record, it still exists in some.
It's still there. It's still around.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is like, after a while, I got really tired of hiding it. But at the same time, I was scared of how my friends and everyone else would see me if I came out in public with this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm toiling over it for about a month or 3, and a publication I was working for at the time, just goes, it's your call at the end of the day, but understand that once it's out there, and you can't take it back.
Right.
And I go, and I'm and a few more months of toiling, of thinking about it. I go, screw it. What's the worst that'll happen to me? Mm-hmm. When I get proven right, and they send another team of investigators after me,
right?
I
think it's the right
it's already
move.
Yeah, so I went out in public with it, and it was actually a really popular article on another site that I used to write for.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there anymore, but I told the story, and it got a lot of traction at the time. This was 2019, I think, and what ends up happening is this was after I went to Gun Rights Policy Conference and met everybody. Really nice folks. I met Chris Chang, a lot of the other guys, and over a few drinks, I end up telling my story to Rick Ector with Michigan Gun Owners, and I'm telling him like, the cops did this, that, and he goes, you should definitely publish it. Okay, so I publish it the next month after that, and the story takes off, and people are actually interested, and I kind of get this new sense of, I guess, purpose and drive to really start telling my story. It's like, what's the worst that'll happen?
Right.
I'm thinking of it that way. If they send investigators after me, it's not going to look good.
Yeah.
If I somehow get investigated again and they deem me as, we were in the right, it's not going to look good.
Right.
So
no matter
if someone were to like Google your name right now, what will they find on the internet? Are you ever concerned with that? Like,
Let's find out.
Do you feel like, you have ever been denied a job or denied, like rentals or, when they do a background check on you?
No, because that would be racist.
So I've Googled your name, and in the first four links,
article.
You find two LinkedIn links, a Facebook link, and then the fourth one is special report red flagged at 14, Second Amendment. That's just the.
I haven't had any issues. Yeah.
No, I doubt it is, and I think in the past. And especially with regards to slurs, the communities that are we'll say victims of, these slurs, when they own those slurs and they take them and make them their own, it takes the power away from those who use it to demean them. And I think this is a very similar thing. Yeah. Like you owning the story, you telling the story, you get to tell your side and you get to tell it as many times and in many places as you want. It puts the power in your hands and allows you to take the power away from authority. So not to say that it couldn't happen, but I don't think that you're in any threat of being investigated again for this, especially since of the fact that, you're telling the story from the perspective of somebody who was wrongly accused in the court of public opinion, and it affected your life so much that you had to move. Did you move your entire family or your mother with you?
No, it was just me.
Just you?
It was just me. It was just me. But as I was saying, so, I start really telling the story, and there's a decent time, and I'm going somewhere with this. There was a good amount of time where I was massively motivated to tell my story. I was excited. I just saw this new world of opportunity. I tell the story at the 2A rally in Phoenix, and then I guess I just didn't feel comfortable telling my story anymore because each side was using it for their own ends, and I didn't like that. Right. Because in Arizona, Republicans are passing red flag laws, and so are the Dems. Like, why do I have to be, particular to one side or the other?
You don't.
And that's the issue that I've had with these communities is like after that, I remember being massively demotivated. Mm-hmm. It was that and another event, but that's a long story.
Right. Basically, political parties are weaponizing your story in some form or fashion.
And I don't like it because it's both sides. Both sides are literally playing into this system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the right is using video games are literally satanic and are going to make our children gay. Yeah, I'm obviously straw manning. I'm obviously straw manning. Okay. Yeah. The left is saying those evil right wingers are out to gun us all down for being LGBT. As I said, I'm straw manning. Mm-hmm. Like it's I didn't like either side. I didn't get along with what they were using my story for. So for a while, I just kind of took a break from the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. And I can tell you, personally speaking, you're in welcome company with regards to politics. But we are coming up on the end of the break here, and I'd like to pick back up where we left off here in your story. I'd like to learn a little more about your current, where you live and et cetera, and whether or not any of this stuff has continued to follow you around where you lived, et cetera. So I'm going to throw Logan back up here so you can see that beautiful baby face.
That's me.
And he's gonna send you all off on the journey.
Well, when we come back from the break, we'll continue to talk to Eli and more about his story, but stay right with us. We'll be right back because this is the Gun Shop Show.
Commercial idea for Netfishes. I walk into the commercial director, we'll call him's office. I say to him, "Hey, how's it going?" He replies, "Good. We got your commercial ready to go. Are you ready to listen?" "Yeah, but before I do, I have an idea I want to float by you." He says, "Okay," a bit sarcastically. And I say, "All right." And I clear my throat and I start singing this song, something similar. Netfishes, we're all really good friends, hanging out and stuff, and having memories to talk about when we were young. Snapfishes, and I say the business name wrong, like Fishnets. He replies, "That's terrible. And you didn't even say the right business name at the end. It's your business." Then it cuts to Fishnetches. Nav Fishes, where we can all be friends. And commercial. The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
If I wasn't watching the Gun Shop Show, I wouldn't be as cool as I am.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. As a reminder, if you're wanting to win the Ruger Security 9, all you have to do
that two-tone beauty.
Share the feed and tag 5 friends. This is a beautiful, beautiful gun.
It's a baby Wooger.
Little baby Wooger.
Hey, some folks might think that is a toy gun, like those little tiny.
No, it's a real gun.
Yeah,
See?
it's just Logan's baby-sized hands make it look like it's
They're
a
average.
giant gun.
They're average size.
Yeah, that's
average.
Average. Yeah, you know what we should do now, though?
What should we do?
We should let folks know who won last week's giveaway.
We should, which was a $50 gift card.
Yeah, and we're gonna. Sorry, go ahead, Logan. I don't mean to cut you off.
Eli, do you want to announce the winner of the $50 gift card that we gave away last week? Here's that.
Are we
let's
ready?
get a drum roll ready.
Here we go.
It is Thomas Hill.
Thomas
Hill, congratulations.
Yeah.
You won a $50 gift card to Liberty Guns.
Yeah. Way to go, man. You can use that on anything. And I think, if I remember correctly, this gentleman is a longtime podcast listener. And his first time in the show was our last episode. So, Thomas, thank you so much for joining us in the comments and sharing and tagging 5 friends. And also, I hope you have fun spending $50. And I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to leap off that into.
Hey, Thomas could spend that $50 gift card on some of that new merch we got in.
Ooh, you talking about those shirts and those hats?
Hats.
Hats.
Yeah.
I wish it would.
Yeah, those hats are really nice, man.
They are.
They're so nice. I want to wear 2 of them. You know, that's a trend that has not caught on. 2 hats.
2 hats?
Mm-hmm. I've seen the mismatched socks catching on. If people finally caught on that.
I think at a certain point, if you wear enough hats, it's just like a cowboy hat.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Wait,
like
mismatched
360
socks is a
degrees.
trend?
Oh yeah, it's happening.
Hold on.
That's
Mismatched
not a
socks is a trend. People aren't just doing it because.
Yeah, it's out of pure laziness. It's out of pure laziness.
Well, it's become what I mean.
It's not
by
a trend.
Hashtag mismatched socks. No, what I'm saying is like it's. It may not be a trend as in everyone's doing it, but it's certainly become socially acceptable now to wear mismatched socks, which I was already doing.
Yeah, the dryer monster.
Yeah, right.
You lose one sock, then you lose another sock.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
new pair of socks.
These are good socks. Keep wearing them.
These are my favorite socks.
Yeah.
I mean, I mismatch my socks.
This is Kelsey in the article, by the way.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelsey. The cute dog.
That's the Kelsey that gets mentioned in the article.
Let's see here. No, it's quite all right. I don't want to.
Dog.
Yeah, it really is. German Shepherds are awesome. We had one as a kid, and it was super smart. Super smart.
The smartest.
Mm-hmm. I always like.
My last figured out how to open. My last figured out how to open the fridge, and what she did was she stole an apple, closed the fridge, and then just munched on it in the corner.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really impressive.
It really is. Whereas cats don't give a crap about anything.
So I kind of want to go back to something real quick, and this is the video that we showed when we first brought you onto the show. You were advocating for making Yavapai County. It was county, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yavapai County.
Yeah, a Second Amendment sanctuary. Did that pass by chance?
It did actually. It actually did, and my testimony was a small part of that.
Great.
Yeah.
So you helped.
There was a lot of people that showed up. I like to think so. Yeah.
Oh, it had to have, man. It was a very passionate speech.
I almost broke down crying in that speech as it showed. My tears.
Right.
Yeah. I was near damn breaking down.
Yeah.
After I was like holding it in.
I think those tears were warranted. I mean, you've been through something traumatic that not many other people that I know of, at least, or that I've heard of, have been through something like that. You know, it's not every day that you hear that someone was the victim of red flag laws.
Yeah, become some sort of public enemy.
See, and your experience is kind of the worst type of situation to have. When you hear red flag laws, you immediately go to the extremes. It's going to reduce all gun crime, or it's going to victimize a bunch of people, and that's kind of what you experienced.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you were continuing.
No,
with
I was
point.
giving you a chance to. Yeah.
No.
If you want.
And the thing is like, no one ever talks about the human aspect of it. No one ever talks about the person that's just down on their luck, that's already having a bad enough time with their life, and now maybe they're one of the best arguments I've heard is the ex-wife one. The ex-wife says you're crazy,
right?
And get your guns taken away. And one of the ones I've actually heard from female firearms advocates is a stalker red flagging you and getting your guns taken away so they can victimize you easier.
Oh wow,
that's one of the best arguments I've heard against red flag laws.
Yeah, that's I mean, certainly a good example.
Especially
especially
against like domestic abuse victims. That's a really big deal.
Well, reading off that list that Trevor read earlier with, the STAR program, I mean, there are people that suffer some of those things, depression and things like that every day. It doesn't mean that they're, going to go do a mass shooting.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. We're coming off.
Those are the same types of things that, anybody could use at any time against anyone.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's the scary thing.
And we're coming off what the war on terror and guys that are back from the Afghan and Iraq surge. Those guys are in absolute have every reason to be afraid of red flag laws. That's why like one of the guys I was listening to the subcommittee hearing on red flag laws, and one of the guys that was proposing them was, I'm a military veteran, I understand the safety of these laws. It's guys like you that it victimizes the most. It's guys like you that it's guys that have really seen things, done awful things in the heat of the moment that are most affected by these things.
And some of
why is someone going to seek help when they might not have their firearm rights if they do?
Right. And I think this is a good time to mention our friends over at Walk the Talk America. Are you familiar with that organization, Eli?
No, I'm not.
You might check them out. Mike Sedini and I fail to remember his. They do a podcast as well. Jake Wiskershin, I think is his name. I'm going to butcher that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they do a weekly podcast, but their mission is to try to raise awareness about mental health within the gun community because of the stigmas that come attached to saying, "Hey, I'm feeling depressed," and then they also own guns. How do we handle this situation? I mean, anytime a shooting happens, mental health gets brought up, but it's basically just a talking point. News is
it's well, they talk about mental health, but they never do anything to really fund it.
Exactly.
And one of the things that I always cite whenever people ask how could all of this happen was the Omnibus Bill of 1980. Reagan actually gutted funding to the federal and state mental health systems with that bill. Alan, you might be familiar with it. The Omnibus Bill of 1980 under Reagan and Carter.
I believe that actually is the one where they shut down some of the state mental hospitals.
Yeah.
Where they had long-term care for patients who had mental illnesses or mental problems and couldn't live in society on their own, and they took those people and moved them into like halfway houses,
Right.
kind of supervised living accommodations.
I worked with the developmentally disabled, and several of them had been moved from those facilities into smaller living quarters. And they weren't like dealing with the kind of mental issues that we imagine that we're talking about now. They're just developmentally disabled.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I do know what you guys are talking about now.
Yeah.
It's disgusting how mental health is treated.
Mhm.
Right, like
there's
as a whole,
stigmas
like
attached to it.
I think. Have you guys watched Generation Kill by any chance?
I have not.
No, I haven't.
One of the guys, one of the main characters is Brad Colbert, and this Generation Kill follows just a bunch of recon Marines during Operation Iraqi Freedom, and like covers like their story and how mundane just being in a war zone is for them. And,
right. It's kind of, what was that one movie that they made about the guy? Sorry, I'm failing to mention this. Gosh, dang it! Sorry.
Who's in it?
He was a bomb.
Hurt Locker.
Yes, the Hurt Locker. Like it becomes normalized. He goes home and he almost misses it and craves it, and then wants to go back.
Well. Just
Sorry,
before
didn't mean
I
to
go
go
on to
on.
that point,
Yeah.
No, you're good. One of the things that he mentions is anyone can get post-traumatic stress disorder. Just being in a car accident can. By the way, your browser's showing. Just being in a bad car accident, being in a mass shooting, or just seeing someone get robbed or murdered can literally get your mind into that. And guys that are in war zones, they're constantly exposed to this stress. And then they get told, just compartmentalize it. Then they come home and what's there for them?
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
In terms of resources,
Usually nothing.
a backlogged VA that puts you on hold for 8 months to a year.
Right. I would say anybody who's
it's-
experienced this should definitely be going through some rigorous mental health exercises. Well, Eli, we are coming up on the end of the second hour of the show. We're going to be going to what we call the Shover Drive, which is the part of the show where we generally get pretty relaxed. And we hope you can stick around for the Shover Drive.
Yeah, I'll stick around.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. All right. Well, Logan?
Eli? Well, we'll see you on the Shover Drive. It's been a good show so far. Continue to talk
I've had
about
a
it
super time.
on the Gun Shop Show. Super time.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit JasperCountySheriff.org.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. With 40+ sizing positions. Styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom, crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by Little Old Ladies. They're little, and they're old. They're little old ladies.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Out of the pack and put it into his backpack.
Oh, man.
Welcome back to
out
the
of
Gun Shop
context.
Show. We're just talking trash on Steven Seagal and how bad his movies are
Pretty
nowadays.
natural thing for us to do.
As you do.
Yeah. We were we're having a discussion with our guest about how awesome Steven Seagal is. But before we get back to that, Logan, why don't you show our baby user or viewers that baby Ruger security
talking
9
about
one
this
more
little baby Ruger?
time.
Baby Ruger. Baby Ruger. I'm Baby Ruger. And you come with me by sharing the feed and tagging 5 ways.
You're going to want to go ahead and change the diapers on that Ruger. Because I think it just duked itself.
Yeah.
It's a good Ruger.
So, so I was just thinking of the next Steven Seagal movie.
Mhm.
You've got Steven Seagal and Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
As the good guy, as the bad guys.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's like 91.
Chuck Norris is hunting them down.
Super Crew.
The slowest movie of all time.
Yeah, but they're like chasing
movie.
Chuck Norris is chasing Clint Eastwood and Steven Seagal down the street. You know, they're in wheelchairs, running from the the retirement community, the nursing home.
I love
Chuck
it, dude.
Norris is like, I'm gonna get him.
I see.
Arnie needs to make an appearance then.
Oh,
if
yeah.
that's the case,
He'll be-
Arnie needs
he'll
to
be
make
back.
an appearance.
He'll be back. But I like to imagine that Steven Seagal and who was the other guy you mentioned? Oh, Clint Eastwood. In Who Can Rasp Whisper? Rasp Whisper 1.
We've got some time to kill before.
Have you guys watched Kung Fury by any chance?
Yes, I have, and it is awesome.
Okay. I was about to ask because, like, I'm a cop. I loved like just how it made fun of like all of the '80s like cliches and tropes. Someone trace that car. Someone trace that car.
Hacker man.
Hello, is this the police? Yeah, this is the police. They start shooting into the
Okay, I'm putting that in the show notes. If Logan, you've not seen not Kung Fury. I got that mixed up with it. What is it called? It's Kung Fury, right?
Kung Fury. It's literally free on YouTube. You can watch it. It's
Yeah,
literally was
okay.
a joke film.
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude, you're gonna want to watch this because it's awesome. No, I get it mixed up. There was another movie.
At first, I thought you were talking about that karate movie,
Naked Gun,
where he fights the cow.
That's what I was mixing up with. Yeah, that one.
No. Kung Fury is the movie with the kung fu fighter fighting Mecha Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got one of the guys from the.
that's the thing.
Gosh, I'm so bad with recalling things right now.
Why is it
the
not?
Lonely Island Boys? One of those guys. I think he plays Hitler in it.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah, Hitler travels through time, and I mean, it's way over the top. And
There was a
totally worth
TV
the watch.
show like that. It was like 6 episodes.
I think I vaguely was that like a BBC thing?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
But Hitler was always the bad guy.
Oh, dude, he's eternally the bad guy. You know, he's
the easiest bad guy to make.
He really is.
He's the easiest bad guy to make.
Oh yeah. Everybody he's become a pop culture icon, anti-icon, I guess is the term. He gets
funny
thrown around
enough.
a lot.
In Asia, I think it's either Malaysia or Singapore, they actually have Hitler cosplay contests. Like they'll get dudes dressing in SS uniforms to put on like the best Nazi uniforms, and like it doesn't register to me personally because like I'm just imagining a bunch of Asian kids LARPing Hitler, and it just doesn't sit like the way it should.
Yeah,
right?
why would
It
you?
doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. It's
there's a kid that looks like Short Round and he's saying Sig Heil. Like, I'm not going to take him seriously. I'm going to ask, where's this kid's parents?
Right. Like, I didn't think you made the cut, buddy. Let's try to wrap up, or not wrap up, but let's try to go a little further in your story here. So you moved out to Arizona to escape the stigma that was attached to you. What prompted you to move to Arizona? Like, was there opportunity there? Like, what drove you to move there?
It was mainly just kind of anger and just frustration with everything that like I had grown up with. I'd already visited a few months earlier, and I was just like, wow, gas is not $6 here.
Right. Yeah.
Life definitely has to be better.
So what part of
really
Arizona?
was just Phoenix.
Phoenix?
North Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah, I hear that's a pretty nice area up there.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Never been.
it's pretty nice.
You've got the desert.
I bet I would assume there's kind of a myriad of environments there, you know?
Oh yeah, I work in a water treatment plant that's literally 10 miles away from civilization, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And like, you know, a lot of the other guards don't want to work there because it's not in the city, it doesn't feel safe. Me, I get to look at cool rattlesnakes and contemplate poking them.
Yeah.
I know not
Stay
to
away from the rattlesnakes.
Yeah,
Just sitting out there picking them off.
I've seen like snakes this long and like this wide. right? Like, and it's just really cool because like you'll see them. You'll see, like, I'm in the truck doing patrols, right? And I'll see them coming by, and I think the funniest thing I did was, like, I drove next to one. You good, buddy? Snake's just kind of going by. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
So I know you don't smoke anymore, but you got to roll you a cigarette, put on your cowboy hat like Clint Eastwood, draw down on that snake and shoot him.
That's what you get, Snake.
Yeah, Snake.
I know what you're asking, Snake. It's got 6 rounds.
High planes drift out.
7 rounds, 3 rounds. Doesn't matter. Kill that snake.
I got a buddy of mine. His dad. So he was out hunting with his dad, and he loaded his 410 Magnum revolver with snake shot, but his dad didn't tell him that he loaded it with I think it was a buck or something like that. And so my buddy freaks out, sees a snake. Oh no! Takes his revolver out.
Uh-oh. Our as you heard, our guest's dog was barking, so he's gone.
She heard the word
gone
snake.
quiet on it. Yep. Yeah, she knows there's a snake.
She
out
heard
there.
snake and
looks like there
shish.
might be somebody at your door there.
Probably is.
So yeah, the whole Clint Eastwood thing will forever be a thing on this show, no matter how bad it is.
Much to the detriment of the show, sometimes it feels like, but
so
it's going to be part of the show.
We're gonna hang out and make sure that our guest is okay.
For sure.
Getting some treats or something there, man. I'm a little jealous.
Oh, that dog is all over the
Send some
place.
treats this way.
The dog's excited.
Yeah, for our radio listeners, our guest, as you heard, his dog was barking, so he got up to take care of his dog, and that's what our viewers are seeing right now. And he treats his dog to
I feel like
pepperoni.
I feel like if you're a gun owner,
those are your favorite.
If you're a gun owner, there's certain types of dogs that you associate with gun owners. It feels like
German Shepherd
and it feels
being
like the
one of
German
them.
Shepherd is one of them.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah,
It's
also,
like you have really useful and athletic and strong dogs if you're a gun owner.
Something else that just popped into my mind, though, don't underplay the idea of putting a gun in your pepperoni bag so that, it's a good hiding spot.
Oh, so like you get broke into, you're like,
let me just
let
get a
me
treat
feed
for
my
the
dog real quick.
Blast.
Wouldn't be a good place for me because I'd have to take it out all the time to get us.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, it's quite all right, man. We narrated. I'm sure you heard.
Yeah.
It was,
Second Asian guy on the show whose dog decided to start barking.
yeah.
Right.
Should have been a little more cinematic, though. Now
Yeah.
I'm regretting it.
It's just
Anyway, what I miss?
dogs being dogs.
Nothing much. We were just talking about what was going on so that our listeners would know what's happening and why you went dark.
Yeah.
Honest.
Yeah.
So you moved out to Arizona to escape all of this stuff. Was there kind of an adaptation period where life became a little less inundated with this information? Or
It was weird because, like, I was finally in a state of, wow, no one actually cares, and that's a good thing,
right?
Like just do your job, be a nice person, and things will generally work out.
Right.
And it felt actually good for the longest time because, people don't really care about what I did in the past. They just care about what's in the now.
Right.
And that was the best feeling. That was really the best feeling.
I
was
believe
just
that.
feeling valued for like the work and my past not being relevant in the moment.
Right.
And that was the best adjustment period for me.
And so has anybody out there come to you, someone who doesn't know about your past, come to you and ask you about those events that you were red flagged for? Like
Not really, because it doesn't really. No, I've never had that happen before, actually, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not
this
nervous.
day
I'm
and
not
age,
nervous.
people
Relax.
like to Google other people and find out what their dark past is like. I know that because I know people are like, I looked up this guy. You are not going to believe what I found out. Like, why? Like, go live your life. Stop researching other people.
Well, yeah. That's why I just got along really well with like blue collar jobs. Is just because all anyone cares about at the end of the day is how the job is done and if it's done fine.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why, like, I like those. I like those environments over like your standard typical office, It's just like I don't really do the office gossip.
Yeah, not so much for me either. So It completely up to you. I'm just curious. What kind of guns do you have? What do you?
Well, before.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Before we do that, we should. How'd you get into guns in the first place?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's a pretty good question. Honestly, I played a lot of games growing up, and I just thought the guns in them were really cool. So, like, it started off with just a few games, and then, like, Medal of Honor Frontline, for example. Like, growing up, like, my dad was kind of into them, but, like, I didn't really care that much.
Mm-hmm.
And the dog has my socks. The dog is stealing my socks. But anyway,
tasty socks.
She reached into the hamper, grabbed some socks, and just walked out. I just saw that in the peripheral. Anyway, so I actually got into it through games. Like I've always been like a really big like story nerd. Mm-hmm. And what I've really noticed about like American culture that I love about it so much is a lot of our stories are defined by firearms. Gran Torino, any World War II film, any Vietnam film is literally made by their firearms. Like the firearm itself is an identity, and I loved that about American films. That's why I actually got into screenwriting. But
cool.
Yeah, that's how I got into guns, just games and all that. The Last of Us really kind of sealed. The Last of Us 1 really sealed how I felt about.
We're not going to talk about the sequel they never made.
The sequel didn't happen because I haven't played it.
And they haven't made it yet. They probably won't.
Yeah, it's probably just in development still.
Yeah, probably.
What are you guys talking about? Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I haven't played it. I've heard not great things about it.
I've actually thought of doing like a firearm video series, and it's an idea that's in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Where essentially I review firearms from the point of view of a character in that universe.
Oh,
not
okay.
like specific characters.
That's pretty good.
But
idea.
like you know how Garand Thumb does like his firearm reviews.
Mhm.
Well, he does the April Fool's ones as well, where he reviews a fictitious gun from like a video game universe. And I was thinking, take that a step further. Like I want to do a Beretta 92 FS, but from the point of view of a Raccoon City police detective that's trying to get out of his job and like go into the firearm industry a month before the outbreak.
Speaking of that, I like the premise that you have there.
Fantastic premise.
Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, which makes me wonder. You say you're a screenwriter. Have you produced anything? Have you sold anything?
No.
Are you actively involved?
I'm currently working on a webcomic right now, which is essentially a mixture of Logan and common anime tropes. That I like. I don't really take part in the anime thing, but I like the tropes that come out of it that give me ideas for writing. And what I'm writing right now is basically this screenplay about this ex-combat medic that ends up stumbling into a government super soldier catgirl conspiracy involving the CIA and his time in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's a mouthful, I know. You're all looking at me like, hello? Yeah, I need this guy red flag like today, please.
Yeah, and he's also really into Chevrolet. He really likes grilled cheese sandwiches. Sorry.
Whoa, okay.
I'm just
First off,
thinking-
don't call me First off, I'm insulted that you would peg me for a Chevy fan.
No. I'm talking about your caricatures, your characters. There's these quirky details I think about. If you're like, he's a grizzled war veteran who, has a surplus of ammunition and MREs, and also he is really into My Little Pony.
Yeah, that just never works well for me. As far as
entertainment? Well, I like the premise because I like those kinds of jokes. But I'm the one with the done.
If you like that kind of thing, Generation Kill. There's a scene where it's the 249 gunner sitting in the Humvee, and they're talking about like he's talking about a story about how his dad killed a dog because it was biting him. Yeah, my dad reached in, ripped up the dog's stomach, and one of the things he says right after is, "I like cats better myself." Keep in mind, this is the 249 gunner that accidentally shot kids, and everyone's just looking back like, "What?"
Oh my God.
No, it's
I do prefer
interesting
cats
stuff.
to myself too. So
Well,
I kind of connect.
the guts of a cat can be used for guitar strings, so it's way more usable than dogs. Is that another?
Great. Now I'm thinking of a thing that I used to tell my dog because it
Don't
was
ever
funny.
talk about cats like that ever again.
I used to tell my last dog. It's like, I swear, if you keep that up, I'm going to send you to the animal shelter next to the Chinese restaurant. You're not going to like it.
Yeah, but that
Am I going to
dog's
get canceled for that one?
There's some conspiracies there. I won't get into too far.
Well, the thing is, I said that before COVID happened because it was just funny to make the dog eating joke.
Yeah, it's I mean, around here that joke gets made too. I think cats are, well, you don't have a cat problem. We got plenty of Asian restaurants. Thing. I've heard that several times. I can't imagine.
It's just leaner meat. I mean,
fluffy
so my ex's dad was making steaks on the grill, and I remember I was sitting in the kitchen with him, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna make some steaks," and his my German Shepherd at the time, his Jack Russell Terrier, and the Boxer Shepherd mix walk in, and I go, "There's 3 steaks right here. What are you talking about?" He's like,
Yeah, that's last resort.
Why do you make it? Like, it's really funny because people who don't get my sense of humor are like, why do you make fun of yourself like this? I'm like, 'cause it's funny.
Hey, self-deprecating humor is therapy.
do you guys remember? Have you guys seen Book of Eli?
I have.
Where he shoots that cat and then eats it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that part where he's cooking it
Don't
over
ever
the fire.
talk about cats like that.
Yeah,
again,
cooking
Logan.
over the fire. Yeah.
Don't ever talk about cats like that again, Logan.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I was just quoting you.
I know.
It's a direct quote.
I know.
So let's get a little further into his gun background.
Yeah, we
I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out on that. So, video games, media kind of propelled you to get interested in guns. What was the first firearm you ever fired?
Owned.
It was fired or owned.
Well, let's start with fired. 'Cause let's assume that he fired one before he.
My stupid ass decided, hey, you know what? I'm sure as a new shooter, an AR-15 is going to be California compliant. AR-15 is going to be the right gun for me.
And it was.
Keyword.
So okay. I was a dumbass, and I thought Resident Evil 7 was the right way you hold guns, which is not aiming down the rear and front sight. So here I am leaning a gun into my shoulder, point shooting at a thing with a California compliant rifle, and the RO going, "Do you know how to use that thing?" No. Aim down the rear and front sights. Oh. All right, cool.
You're like, there's.
Oh.
So the first gun you purchased and fired was an AR-15?
No. It was my first purchase was a Mossberg 500 tactical SPX.
Yep.
I sold that, and then after that, it was a Ruger 1022 takedown, which I have nothing but. Actually, well, being fair, I'm like I killed the gun. You
killed it.
I don't know. I think I just ran 20,000 rounds of trash ammo through it, and then it just kind of stopped. I would have a failure to. I would have a failure to extract every first round, and I was wondering maybe I just didn't clean it right. So I clean it out good, check it. It works now. Pop up, and it just. I fire a couple rounds, and then it same problem happens. So I'm like, I'm selling this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Ruger 1020.
I have a takedown myself. Mine's in the X22 backpacker stock by Magpul.
Ooh, those are nice ones.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like that it's really light and it holds 4 extra mags in the stock. It's fantastic. Or 2 extra mags.
I thought the coolest thing was the integrally suppressed barrel. I thought that was the coolest thing. I still kind of do.
Yeah, it's super cool. We've sold a couple. I want to shoot one
now.
Yeah, we do have them in stock. We should go shoot one at some point.
Yeah, let's do that next week. You should write that down.
Yeah,
I'll write that down.
I will. And
I don't know what
I can bring my gun. So it's a Ruger 1022.
Please feel free to flex on me further. I'm in Arizona, guys.
Oh, sorry.
What's wrong? What's wrong with Arizona? I'm out of the loop. I'm seriously out of the loop. What's going on out there?
You're in Missouri. I'm in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
He can't.
And you guys are going shooting without me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of ditzy. I was writing something down.
Anyway, we can go shoot our full autos too. Well,
we got some full autos we can shoot.
I'm just kidding.
You want to go shoot full autos with us, Eli?
Hey, maybe that'd be an opportunity for him to bring us that shipment of Lupias.
There you go. There you go. Road trip.
Hey, yo, you.
What's it?
Wow, this is like wow. I feel like this is like Operation Fast and Furious, but like the guns are actually going to a good cause.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You got the stuff. I just flashed like frozen lumpia. Yeah, I got the stuff.
Wasn't there like they estimated like 2,000 or so guns?
2,000? Are you joking?
Was it
I
more
knew
than
a guy.
that?
No, it was
way more than that.
15,000 guns.
Oh, I heard something
one
about
of
it yesterday.
the guns
2,000,
that actually
and I was like, just 2,000.
2,000 is a joke. No, because you know why that's a joke. No. Because it's more than that. You know why I think that's just a lowball number is because one of the guns that was in Fast and Furious actually showed up in the 2015 Paris attacks.
Oh, didn't they like? They were tracking like 2 serial numbers. Is that correct? Per like
it was. Yep, Interpol ran a check. And the gun showed. Yeah, so Interpol ran a check on the gun serial number, and it actually came up to a Phoenix, Arizona. It was a Phoenix, Arizona store, meaning Fast and Furious, and the ATF was, we did a oopsie. And so. In terms of Fast and Furious, I can actually tell you like insane stories about that. Like,
please do.
For the people who don't know what the Operation Fast and Furious is, should we explain that?
Yeah, I have the Wikipedia article up here. It was a
ATF gun walking operation.
Yes. Was a tactic used by the Arizona U.S. Attorney's Office and the Arizona Field Office of the United States Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which ran a series of sting operations between 2006 and 2011 in the Tucson and Phoenix area where the ATF, quote, purposefully allowed licensed firearm dealers to sell weapons to illegal straw buyers, hoping to track the guns to Mexican drug cartel leaders and arrest them.
It really is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Actually, so it was an operation under Bush and Obama. The thing with Bush was they actually picked up the dealers. Mm-hmm. Obama was just, let's just follow the guns. Well, we can't follow them when they're over the Mexican border. We'll give it to the Mexican authorities, who are notoriously corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the stories that one of the things that you used to be able to find live leak was a Mexican Federale raid, and one of the weapons that they picked up on Fast and Furious raid was a literal minigun that was shooting down Mexican military helicopters.
Oh my god!
And like it's just the level of insanity from that. Like I knew a guy that was a Federale in a certain state that I'm not going to name, but
sure.
The guns that they pick up are insanely U.S. found and U.S. serial number guns. It's just ridiculous. The thing is like you can't even say, oh well, with the benefit of hindsight. With the benefit of hindsight, the U.S. Marshal Service and the ATF even said this might be a bad idea. I think we should stop.
The level of incompetence to think that would work.
The purposefully
the only reason that this operation got picked up on was because a local gun store, I think it was a Lone Wolf Armory, jotted down the names of jotted down the contact information and names of the quote unquote the straw buyers.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the whole lid got blown open on that in like 2009.
Yeah.
Which was just the level of insanity and lack of foresight on that was just insane. And plus, the guns weren't even going to leadership figures. The guys picking up the guns are low level,
Of course,
street guys.
Right.
Yeah, the guys they pick up aren't going to be the ones, and that's why like I have such issues with like just both sides. Is like, yeah, you're not going to pick up a high level guy doing this. Oh, we'll just track the guns through Mexican authorities.
Right.
Like.
Our government has a history of doing things like this and running these operations, that people don't know about until it's either long past or it gets busted open. So all we hear about are these failures. I mean, MK Ultra is one of those.
Oh yeah.
So it's curious.
Operation Northwoods.
Yeah, like the Contra. I can't even think of the name of it right now.
Oh, Iran Contra deal. Did you know that? Yeah, that's. Actually,
that was all to try to instill a change of government, but like, what are the ones that are working? I want to hear about some of the ones that actually worked, because all I'm hearing about is all these failures, and if they're all failures, exactly.
So I actually was talking with a buddy of mine. His family's from El Salvador, and one of the things that we were talking about was like what the governments were like in the 80s and why our families came to the States.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that he mentioned was like the U.S. was funding the FARC or the nationalists, while the communists would pick up these guns and have shootouts with them. Because the CIA thought, oh yeah, if we fund this insane dictator that's literally killing people and downright rigging elections, I'm sure that won't have any negative ramifications. And so the two of us start bouncing stories, and I go, you too? Yeah, and the two of us start talking about how the votes were purposely rigged in his country against a populist president. And I go, that happened in the Philippines too. And the two of us are going back and forth with this, and we then realize, oh yeah, that was just Reagan doctrine of just borderline destabilizing friendly governments to us, because they don't want to walk in step with Americans.
Tom Cruise, Made in America. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
he's basically
that's a good movie.
Transporting guns and coke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was out of down near Bentonville, right? That area.
It's actually south. It's down south of Fort Smith.
Yeah, really not too far from
Arkansas.
here.
It's it's about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. That from that movie,
crazy.
The amount of money that existed in that town, they were building banks just to house the cash that guy was bringing in, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of stuff out there that we don't know about happening, and I kind of, frankly, don't really want to know too much.
There's a really good book that I was actually listening to. Let me see what the name of Surprise, Kill, Vanish. That's what it's called, and it's basically about the CIA operations that are declassified and that we know about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really interesting and eye-opening read. How we funded Gaddafi's regime for a while, and he was supposed to be a friendly ally, and then that just kind of turned on its head when he decided to bomb a U.S. embassy.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and
as
then,
you do.
We support the rebellion in Libya, right?
Libya, yeah.
During
do you realize how little that narrows it down?
Right.
We support a rebellion, right?
One?
Which time?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know, man. Kind of prefer to be in the dark on a lot of that stuff, because otherwise, what am I going to do about it?
Well, back in it,
accidentally commit suicide from 3 different angles.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys don't remember the Cold War or pre-80 Cold War.
No.
But, there were a lot of governments around the world that the U.S. was supporting, because if we weren't supporting them, they would go to the Soviet Union.
And that's kind of what happened with Cuba, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the general assumption, but a lot of the governments that they were messing with were already fairly friendly with the U.S. For example, there were already a bunch of operations in the Philippines related to keeping the hooks out. The hooks were already unpopular as all get out, because all they did was literally bomb civilian areas. So whatever happened, people wanted them out.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcos cracking down on suspected communists didn't exactly make that any better. And the same thing applies to El Salvador, which is why I actually don't have a lot of respect for Ollie North, even though a lot of guys talk him up. I don't like him myself.
Well, he's famously involved in the Iran-Contra affair, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, man, at least he's got a job. I think he's working for Fox News.
No, he's head of the NRA.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
God, that's how far I flew by him.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I'm on a gun show, guys.
I'm going ahead.
No. I remember when they were yeah, Ollie North's the head of the NRA and he's gonna weed out the corruption. You let the fox in the hen house, and now he's eating.
Right.
It's
yeah, they're not doing too good, last I heard. So
awful.
Yikes. Maybe get some.
And I see
in there.
I see a lot of these NRA guys. Yeah, Ollie North is clean and he's never done anything that would undermine American interest. Oh,
they haven't done the research.
Yeah.
So let's talk about guns, guys. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah.
I like guns.
Oh yeah. I actually I actually built my AR about a couple of years ago, and it's been running me strong since. It's nothing special. I'm trying to build a Mark 18-ish pistol next.
Mm.
I mean, that's illegal. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about either.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
He really
I
doesn't.
forgot. I'm having a Joe Biden moment. I forgot what I was saying a second ago.
Not many people know this. I'm relatively gun dumb, so I'm just the best they could do as far as pushing buttons on the computer. So my ignorance is typically true with regards to this topic.
So,
but I get educated.
Around here, Eli, all your guns are lost when you had a boating accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably don't have a lot of rivers there. So
I was actually messing. Well, here's the thing. I was messing around with a hard drive shredder myself, and my hand got stuck in there, and I was stuck for a few hours.
Oh no!
And my gun just went in. All my guns went into the hard drive shredder, and I don't know where they are.
Wow, that must be an impressive shredder.
Yeah.
Would you say that's master shredder?
Yeah.
Oh no! Are you serious? Are you
That's
serious?
three.
There's another
That's
Trevor.
3 in one show.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey, I grew up on the Ninja Turtles, man. That's mine.
They're not cool anymore, bro.
Whatever, dude. They're forever
They're
cool.
making a comeback.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna have a surgery done.
Not a good comeback.
I'm gonna have a surgery done.
Not a good
I'm gonna become a
comeback,
Ninja
no.
Turtle.
No.
Mhm.
I thought I heard they were making another movie.
Oh, probably
Because they made money.
They already made another movie, and kids didn't like it.
Yeah. Okay. So they were like, we'll put out this trash, let people lose hope in it, and then redeem it with some darkness, just like Batman. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yep.
Okay, no. Batman was a good comeback.
It was a great comeback. Schottenheimer's like, you know what I'm going to do with the Batman franchise? I'm out of toilet paper. I'm going to use that. I think that's his name. Schottenheimer, something like that.
Who?
Anyway, Silverstein,
Anyway.
the guy that made the last 2 Batman movies before
Gotcha.
Nolan made them.
Yeah.
Anyway, if he, sorry, not
Snyder,
you, Eli.
Snyder.
No. I'm talking before that. Let's see.
Really? I thought Snyder was like the bar for bad.
Let's see here. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, I was just going to mention that the owner, Eli Bruton, anytime we bring up movies or television, he checks out.
His eye, he just goes like this.
So it's nice that we can talk
When his
about
glaze
this.
is over.
But no, we're talking about the ones that had. Help me out here, Logan. Which were the original?
You
movies?
talking about like Batman Forever? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Batman Forever. That's what I should.
Batman
look
and
up.
Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those were terrible.
Wait, how did we get on this subject? From guns?
Well, we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was saying they're going to have a comeback similar to Batman, those Batman movies.
So-
Joel Schumacher was the director, and it was terrible.
So, like I was saying the other day, I was cutting wood, throwing it into the wood chipper.
Yeah.
And somehow all my guns were in a pile, and I thought it was wood.
Oh,
and
no.
Oh no!
So they're all destroyed.
Terrible accident.
Are you okay?
I reached out and I was like, "Hey, all my guns are destroyed."
Yeah,
You know?
didn't have a Fargo moment. Hopefully,
No, the rest of the day I was off for sure.
Yeah.
It hurt me here.
Yeah.
And
Is that why you hugged me?
And you probably didn't keep track of the serial numbers either, did you?
No, I mean no.
Novice
That's
mistake.
terrible.
Should have,
Oh,
but I didn't.
man. Gosh, are you doing weekly meetings on this?
I go see people about it.
Yeah.
Group therapy.
I talk about
man,
it.
group therapy is so.
Because as you guys know, that my taste in
group
guns
therapy.
was just getting more and more expensive.
Yeah. You were going to
And,
single letter firearms because anything more than that would just be,
Yeah,
too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're like, I don't.
The less you get in a firearm, the more expensive it is.
Yeah. The less letters it has, the more expensive it gets. That's what I've learned.
That's true.
Mhm. Their t-shirts.
I actually put in an order with CMP for an M1 Garand.
Yeah.
Oh,
They got those
one of
for
the
sale,
one of the cheap ones, like the 650.
Don't say
The
cheap.
650 ones, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean cheap.
Well, okay.
Cheap for an M1 Grand. Like normally you're like
All things
grand or more.
considered, well, no, like 'cause I know somebody that paid $2,500 for a decent looking Garand.
Exactly, it's
And
crazy.
like 650 is a steal.
Yeah.
For what that
I was
is.
looking at that the other day.
Especially considering, like, if all I need to do is just change parts on it, I don't care about the value of the thing, right?
Mhm.
I just care that the thing shoots and is mechanically safe to fire and not
Right.
gonna explode on me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the experience of shooting a M1 Garand.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, I take it these are new Newly built?
These are refurbished ones. In 2018, they got a giant shipment from the Philippines because a lot of the drill units were just like, yeah, we don't need these anymore. Hey, America, you want them? America goes, we'll pay you for them, sure. So they just ended up on a boat coming back to the States, and we refurbished a bunch of them. Those things probably have more. A few of them might actually be guns that terrorists dropped. So, like literal ISIS terrorists dropped. So really, you're getting a deal.
Heck yeah.
And,
yeah, when it comes to guns.
If guns could talk, man.
Yeah, when you come to a pile of guns in America, is like, hey, you gonna eat that? That's how we are with guns.
Yeah,
we'll take them.
Yep.
We love them.
We don't have enough guns. What was the ratio? I think it was like an average of 8 per person or something.
I've heard 10 up to 15.
Yeah, it's getting more and more.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
especially after this pandemic.
That was in 2018. That was in 2018, though. That's
it has to be significantly. Yeah.
It's probably a lot higher now.
Well, I'm on board. Back when that statistic was built, I had 0 guns, and now I have 2 guns. Go ahead. Another joke crash.
Did you register those?
That's 4. No, I'm not Steven Seagal, dude. I'm not Steven Seagal. You know, maybe if I was Steven Seagal level.
I don't know. I don't know, Chief. You trying to take my title?
He really is the best actor of all time.
The best at being the worst.
I just can't unsee that where he's like doing a tactical clear. The guy behind him, the extra behind him, is actually properly doing it. Meanwhile, Steven Seagal stops, slings his rifle behind him, and starts stealing an MRE, just like 4 MREs off a dead body.
Hey man, he was hungry. Okay? Just let the man eat. That's all he wants to do.
He's got to talk like this. He needs his energy.
Yeah.
He's got to save people. So you, what do you currently, you carry? You said you have your permit. What's your carry of choice?
Glock 19 Gen 5 with the TLR-1 HL and a set of Trigicon HDXRs, orange front, green rear.
Oh, snap. That's fancy.
Have you tried any of the high capacity concealed carry firearms like the
what?
365, the Hellcat? What do we have behind us there?
We just got in.
Is Glock 19 a high capacity CCW?
Yeah, double stack, 15 rounds plus.
It's not really.
I can fit it.
It's not a micro compact, but
that's what I think I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Micro compact.
I like them, but I think I'd wear them for like out on a run, like in exercise shorts. That's what
it really depends on. It depends on what you're wearing.
I've been eyeing a Glock 43, but that's just kind of like on the back burner for now, with how in demand Glocks are.
Back burner demand.
Yeah, we actually had a Glock 43 in earlier this week, but we already sold.
Those Glocks go fast though, don't they? I always, Glocks go fast.
I've never fired a Glock. I haven't fired a Glock yet.
But, it's the Gen 5. I like the Gen 5 because, like, unlike the Gen 4s, the trigger feels predictable with the Gen 5. The 4 was it had a little.
The Gen 5 definitely has a better trigger for sure.
And that's why I was telling. That's why I was telling my buddy, like, because he's getting into guns. He literally lives in Portland. I feel bad for the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, he and I was telling him, I was like, dude, if you're a new shooter and you just want a basic handgun that does everything you need it to and nothing special, just get a Glock. Just get a Glock 19 or a 17. And the
thing about Glocks, though, guys that own Glocks hate every other kind of gun.
Oh,
if you're a Glock If you're a Glock owner, Rugers and Sigs.
You see, I don't.
Yeah, prejudice.
You see, I don't hate those guns. In fact, one of the guns that I've always wanted to buy, but it's just always been out of my price range, is the Sig Sauer P226. That's always been like one of the things that I just found really cool growing up. That gun just has a special place in my heart. I don't know if it's just the Navy SEAL stuff or what, but that gun just is aesthetically pleasing for me to look at.
They're attractive guns. I've owned a couple and I enjoyed them.
Logan is an official member of the Sig Legion.
Like, I ain't gonna sit here and pretend like my Glock looks nice. It's a Glock. It literally is a square with a trigger in it.
Yeah, isn't it? Glocks have basically become the de facto handgun when you visualize a gun, either that or a 1911.
Yep. Or a Beretta.
Yeah,
those are like the three. It's like the 1911, the Beretta, and the Glock. But I'm a very big fan of like Glocks, but at the same time, it's like it's literally just a square. It's nothing that great.
Yeah, I don't think they're that attractive.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm
they're the
gonna make
Honda
a
Civic of
prediction.
guns.
There you go.
They do a good job. They're extremely reliable, and they got your back. Now they're not going to look flashy.
I'm going to
But they
predict.
got your back.
I'm going to predict that Glock makes a huge comeback in 2022.
I'll tell you who's making a comeback. Taurus is making a comeback.
Well, with that one, do you have that in your hand right now?
I say it partially jokingly, but yeah,
because it's
for
a car
sure, for
and
sure.
it's a gun.
Oh.
Yeah, the Ford Taurus. Bro.
No, I wasn't clever enough to make that joke.
Oh,
but no, with their most recent TX22 being a fantastic semi-auto 22, and then their newest
that was fantastic.
Their newest little micro compact, the
Oh
GX4.
yeah, throw that back up there, bro.
A little sneak peek of what we're going to shoot and review for next week.
Yeah,
GX4.
Oh yeah, and then that one
Initial
has a
impressions,
really nice trigger.
Initial impressions. I'm kind of digging it for the price.
What's the tag say? It says something about a warranty. Is
A
it
limited lifetime warranty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're limiting that lifetime.
But yeah, old Taurus, nah.
Old
New
Taurus?
Taurus, I'm feeling it.
I've had bad experiences with Taurus.
See,
I knew a guy that claimed that.
What were you saying?
Go ahead.
There you go.
Oh, I knew a guy that claimed that his Taurus was like really reliable, and it's the only gun that I've ever had a revolver like have a just straight up had a revolver just lose its timing on. Yeah, was a nasty thing to fix.
I've had really bad luck with guns just in general. No matter what brand I buy, I always have to send them back because they break. It's weird. It really is weird.
I've seen how you treat guns, man, and let's
treat
just say
them very well.
they probably should have an OnlyFans account.
Oh,
I've seen how you treat them.
Well,
yeah,
the barrel is calling.
You abuse them.
I abused them. Get out of
He's
here.
like, hey, did you guys see this new gun? Rack.
I make sure it's not loaded.
Uh-huh.
And I take it to my quiet place.
I've seen it.
No, I just go, is it loaded?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking, being safe, being extra safe.
Oh, I get it.
You know.
I've known you for a long time, bro. We've basically been best friends from day one.
What is this show devolving into?
Are you two having a moment? Or you want me to give you guys like
really?
Like me and Alan will be in the back here, but you guys can have your moment.
We could.
Anyway,
I could put on some inspirational music.
Like I was saying, man, you were never there for me. So.
I was always there for you. I was always there for you.
There for me.
Every day I was there for you. You know what?
Okay. You guys go ahead.
I can hear like the person just driving down the road, listening to this on the radio and going,
what's happening?
Hey, what is going on here?
Talk about the guns, man. Go back to the guns.
Yeah, right. So this is something I've been holding on my chest for a long time, Logan.
Yeah,
and I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
Way too intense. That was way too intense. And that music didn't pan out like I hoped.
No.
Okay, so I was gonna put on some music, you're having a movie moment, and it came out blasting whatever that was. It didn't work out. So best friends since day one.
Okay, we're gonna forget about it. We're gonna move on.
Also, hey man, if you could bring back that picture of you in your Letterman's jacket to your Facebook page, I would appreciate it.
I'm not doing that.
Too much
Just got
information.
weird.
Eli, what he's talking about is I had the same
got
picture on
weird
my
in here.
Facebook, my profile picture for like what was it, 6 or 7 years?
Let's see. When did you start here? You were 24?
Yeah.
So 6 years past high school? He was
Yeah.
a phenom, though.
I wasn't a phenom.
Logan was a phenom.
I was not a
He's
phenom.
still a phenom. Still a phenom. On the football field and on the basketball
Now,
court.
the thing about growing up in a small
say
town
Eli?
is that if you're decent at a sport, you're amazing at the sport.
Well, there's only 5 people in the town, so
Exactly.
somebody's got to be the phenom. Might as well be
Local
you.
celebrity.
Well, there was
Local celebrity.
Yeah,
there was like
definitely local
30.
celebrity.
I wasn't. No.
Yeah, cover of the local
Sarcoxy
newspapers.
News, Sarcoxy
I
Examiner.
was the Carthage Player of the Week once, though.
And you played in Sarcoxy?
Yeah.
How does that work?
They always pick a Player of the Week.
And so Carthage picked this Otoxy kid?
Anywhere.
That doesn't make any
Carthage
sense.
Press.
Carthage Press, yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, Carthage was like, man, he's so good. He's our player of the week.
Overlook our 5 times large school.
Wish we had him here.
Mhm. Yeah. Did you get recruited?
I did by Web City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going places.
Yeah, not really.
Sorry, it's getting weird, Eli. We don't.
It is
need to
weird. We should
ostracize
just
you.
let's just.
I'm sitting here quietly pretending like I understand what's going on. That's okay.
Yeah,
Non-stop banter.
Let's just go ahead and just.
You ready to throw the shoe in on this, man?
Yeah.
Are you going to shoe it up?
No.
What?
I'm not Eli. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. You're not.
Owner Eli, not you, Eli.
Yeah, other Eli.
Other
Well,
Eli.
Eli, is there anything you'd like to leave our guests with? Maybe perhaps some links, some ways they can find you on the internet?
I have a Twitter, which is basically just my first and last name put together, Eli Pagunsan, all one word. I got an Instagram that's just Donnie the Writer, DonnieWriter, and that's my Instagram.
Okay.
I'll type it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm basically dotting all that.
And you can see all of my cool. You can see all of my cool pictures from Japan and Pearl Harbor there. Not in any particular order, but you know.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, we thank you for being on.
Yeah, we really
Eli.
appreciate you being.
Thanks for having me again. I really
So last
appreciate
minute
it.
too.
Yeah, something I forgot
okay.
I forgot to ask that I meant to ask. Are you doing any current advocacy for the Second Amendment?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to. I'm going to sound crazy saying this, but I actually, like Sunday and Monday, I basically had a list of every firearm advocacy group in national and state, and I've just been cranking out emails asking, hey, is it possible for me to speak there? I'd like to, well, I created a list for an old blog that I worked for.
Yeah.
But essentially, I was telling him, I was like, hey, if you're willing to host me and help pay for my expenses going there, I'd be more than willing to speak at your event,
Yeah, for sure.
And that's basically what I've been trying to do.
Okay.
I hope I don't sound like I'm some kind of grifter or anything like that.
No, not at all, man.
But that's the idea.
Are you? Have you reached out to? Chang mentioned the AAPI Go group.
Yeah, but they're dealing with some things right now, and I'm just kind of staying away from that drama.
I did see something about that.
I got asked by a few people to reach out to them, and I'm like, look, I'm staying out of this. I don't want to get involved in drama with other communities,
for
and that's
sure.
kind of why I'm waiting for the dust to settle.
Yeah, Yeah, it seems
I try not to involve myself with things like that, just because it's not my
infighting.
It's not my lane. Yeah, it's not my lane.
Right. Well, I mean, I did read a little bit about that. It would seem as though sticking close to Chang would be the right path to choose with regards.
That's what I'm doing. And if I may, just one last thing. Chris Chang and Pink Pistols were actually looking for people to speak in the Senate Judiciary Committee or subcommittee about what red flag laws do to people. And I've been that's my main goal, is to try and speak in DC.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
More power to you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, if you do, share with us. Yeah, share with us a video. I'm assuming they'll tape it. I don't know if I think they tape pretty much all those.
Yeah, they do.
So
Chris,
yeah, share that with
Chris's
us.
Testimony.
And
no problem. Man.
Yeah, that's what drew us to him. Yeah, share that video with us, man, and we will share with our group and probably play it here in the show. Actually, we like to try to keep relationships with all of our guests, so we like to refer to everybody as a friend of the show. And I hope you feel that you are a friend of the show.
I love this group. I'm actually very comfortable.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Again.
We like to be chill and just try to have a good time, but be responsible, just responsible people,
I understand.
having responsible conversations and having a good time.
I understand.
Taking ourselves
Just giving off talking about guns.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, not any of the things that I read to you from that email that we received, but we're pretty cool. We're cool. I mean, other than Logan, but we won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. We need a stunt shoe. We need a stunt shoe.
I can donate this. I can donate the slipper. I can donate.
Oh, there it is. You just triggered it.
Good enough.
You just triggered it. So it's tradition that in our show, the host pulls his shoe off to signal to me, the producer, that he's ready to call it quits. And we're going to go ahead and say these words. The Gun Shop Show.
Goodbye. Thank you for tuning in to the Gun Shop Show.
So we'll hang out for a little bit. Let this music play that you can't have a conversation because the last word is always so anyway, what was the comment? Oh, okay, yeah. So the host was like, when I say these words, I want you to end the show. And I'm like, all right. I got my finger on the button of the mouse ready to end the show. And he never says the word.
No, he
dances around them, and then he's like, "Hey man, I told you I was going to close the show."
But they were words that you would assume someone would say I'm trying to end something. He's like, "Well,
yeah,
it's nice. It's been nice chatting with you guys.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. I will see you next week."
Potato.